We're loading in here. Let's go.
All right, so yeah, we are loading into the first match of the dredge set here with Swatter on the dredge for Team Umbrella, or for Team Swatter for Umbrella here. Anyways, yeah, this is going to be an interesting match here. Now we mentioned that Mastermind 4Ks are usually due to a mistake, but the 4Ks that we see on dredge aren't really so much the same. Dredge is a pretty high consistent 4K rate set. It's very, very common to see 4Ks on dredge. So we are going to be actually moving around here, trying to find our first target here. So far, we've found a couple different people here, but it looks like we're trying to commit someone in a better area for us. Now, I do like the skin that we're seeing Swatter rocking here. We're going to find our first chase onto Dan, who's going to take it over to the bottom side of the map here and has this God palette here, it looks like.
Interesting to note here, Rob, there have been recently with some of the switch-ups in the game, there have been some of the guaranteed pallets have not been spawning, so that's something we keep an eye out for here when it comes to a little bit of RNG. That God pallet did spawn, but let's see and make sure we're run by the other God pallet there. What the strategy for the survivors will be here, I mean, it sounds so basic, but we got to get as many generators done as we can before we get a tunnel out in this game. And then, because typically when we get down to the 3v1, we end up getting a 3-man slug, and then that's just the end of it. You can see we are rocking Ruin, so we're getting some Ruin value. We're kind of bouncing around between chases here. Dan is taking chase in the library now. We are going to use these multiple pallets in this room, using really good job of keeping distance. We're not going to make that vault. Dan is going to take the first hit, and that is going to get Nightfall to start charging here, Rob.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, something I wanted to point out as well is that Dan took what you would consider a good hit. He decided not to vault the pallet because he knew he was going to get hit. If he vaults the pallet, he loses his speed boost, and he won't make any other resources, right? But right now, oh, nice teleport from Swatter there. Dan tried to bait it out. Swatter was very patient with it and got it when it was a lot safer to go for it. We are going to see some pretty good gen progress here. We see Spitz and Nightlight both on 2 different generators with very high prog. And then, of course, Kexo starting a 3rd one in the background here. Now, if Pain Resonance is in play, I believe one of these gens is going to get hit. It's going to be Nightlight's, and he's also going to be forced off the gen because the hook is going to be right on top of it as well, which is really unfortunate, honestly. But either way you spin it, that's a gen completed already for the first chase. Another one with high progress, and Kexo's got one started as well. And yeah, there's Nightfall almost fully charged there. It's about 90% now.
Really, really good job by the survivors to start this match off here, Rob, because typically if that first down came in 2 minutes and 7 seconds, now that's not necessarily a bad thing if you're the killer, but typically if the first down takes a long time, if things are going well for the killer, it's because you're keeping survivors on their toes. You're bouncing back and forth between the different generators, between the different chases, and not letting them get a lot of gen progress. Now, the survivors are actually managed to get, like you said, basically almost 2 full generators done and maybe another half done. We weren't really able to, you know, we were bouncing around a little bit as Swatter there, but we weren't really able to keep the pressure off the generators, and the survivors are being extremely efficient on these generators. We are in Nightfall, which is where Swatter will have the advantage. We have we've chased off of this very completed generator again. We're now chasing Spitz. You can see Dan is currently on the Ruin totem, so we may end up losing that. And there it goes. Ruin is gone. So now we're going to have to rely on kicks and that surge perk. Trying to bounce around. And we see a lot of progress here. We got a lot of injuries. Swatter's just trying to get some control here. There's still only 1 generator done, but the survivors are doing a really good job of stopping these, stopping Swatter from taking them unawares and catching them out in a bad position.
Very, very well said. And yeah, we are going to pop another gen, looks like, if Kexo's gen doesn't get interrupted here. Now, I do want to mention that the pick of Surge is really interesting here, right? This is like the only map, really, where you can get a lot of value from Surge. I mean, you can see a couple other maps, and you can kind of argue for, like, a couple different maps, right? Like, maybe, like, Gideon, or, like, yeah, this is a really nice chase by Spitz, by the way. But yeah, you can argue a few different maps can get a lot of value from Surge, but, like, Midwich is probably, like, the #1 map to get value from Surge. I mean, this should be Spitz going down here pretty soon. Yeah, and there's the down. But that was a really nice chase from Spitz. We do see another gen pop, and then Dan's got another one started. Spitz did die on another active gen, and of course this one here also has a lot of progress that Nightlight was working earlier. So right now, Invictus survivors are in a pretty decent spot, I'd say.
Well, and the trouble is too, now we've got 2 fresh hooks, which is all well and good when you're talking about score, but we mentioned dredge tends to 4K. So we want to get a tunnel out. We want to get somebody out of this game, and you know, 2 fresh hooks gets you a couple pain reses, but that's not going to get you closer to getting these survivors down to that 3v1, which is where the dredge will really start to pop off. So these survivors are doing a great job. Now it's interesting. I know you don't kick a lot of pallets as dredge a lot of the time because you have the ability to leave your remnant behind and whatnot. But I'm starting to wonder, the survivors are playing these pallets so well. I almost feel like it's time to, you know, maybe kick a couple of these stronger pallets and start, you know, giving them some dead spots rather than playing these mind games and losing constantly. We see a 3rd generator pop, and Dan's about to finish a 4th. Now we're gonna get a fresh hook on Nightlight. We might get that hook before the pain res, the gen done before the pain res, and there it is. 1 gen left with 3 fresh hooks. This is going exceptionally for Invictus. So I don't know, maybe you're a prophet. Maybe we do see Invictus steal this set from Umbrella.
I think it's entirely possible, but we also have to see Umbrella's survivor side as well. I mean, they could also be, oh, what a nice fall from Kexo. They could also really have a very nice survivor game here coming up after this. So right now we're in chase with Kexo, who just had like who's having like a really nice chase so far. First tag comes through, but I mean I imagine Swatter's gonna have to leave that. We are going to want to get a lot more pressure on the map here. It looks like we actually teleported to the staircase where Dan was at, and reads it really well. So right now, oh wait a second. We actually interrupted Spitz trying to get on the gen in the classroom. And right now, yeah, Swatter's kind of having to go all over the place and just interrupt things. Not really finding a moment to commit to anything, really.
Well, it's Nightfall, so that means the survivors are on, you know, on extra alert here to not allow... oh, good try there, but Swatter doesn't quite make that swing. They're not allowing... They're trying to stay on their toes here. Looks like Dan is going to go down here unless we see some miracle come in. Does not happen. But we're just bouncing back and forth for Swatter. The survivors aren't really able to reset, obviously. It's kind of hard to reset against Dredge in general, but particularly in Nightfall when your killer instinct is going to be spotted basically at any given time. You don't want to get caught together. So everybody being injured, Swatter's trying to make something happen here. Maybe we can go for a 4-man slug, but we got no ruin on the board. The survivors are keeping really good comms about when we're leaving chases and whatnot. I think this God pallet's still here too. Yeah, that pallet.
Oh, and the stun.
Stun too. Yeah, that is rough. I'm wondering, Rob. I don't see a way that Swatter gets out with a really strong result here. Like, I think slugging out is the only possible way. Maybe pain res Kexo if you get that down, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, also on top of that, I honestly, and I hate to say this because I get proven wrong quite a few times as well when I say this, but I really feel like tunneling out was the play here.
Yeah.
Now I've criticized Pedro for this and just completely eaten my words, so like I try not to like talk about that too much anymore. But like, I think you remember that.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I've been there where I'm like, this is the wrong move, and then they absolutely dominate. I'm like, what do I know anyway?
You and I were both there. You and I were casting that match when we were like, Pedro, why aren't you tunneling? And then he wins, and it's just like, oh, never mind. But anyways, like we're here now, right? And this is a moment where I feel like Swatter actually should have tunneled, because right now we're at 3 stages, and it's just looking so much better. Oh, wow, nice teleport from Swatter there. We do get the down onto Dan, and that gen was also in the range of Surge, by the way. So we do get the regression for it as well. So looks like Swatter actually might want to slug here and maybe find Kexo, like you were saying, to get the pain resonance. We're actually going to find our chase onto Nightlight right now, which could be good if we're able to generate some pressure from slugging. But Spitz is looking to complete that generator.
And it goes in the locker, so we're going to get the pull, so we won't be able to slug, and Spitz is going to get that gen. There is no pain res left on Nightlight anyway, so even if we found it in time, it's not going to matter. Spitz is going to get that generator done. Yeah, I feel like Swatter was playing in the last 5 minutes. The Swatter's strategy here was play like you play the 3v1, but the problem is there's a whole extra survivor on the map to do a generator while that's happening. The bounce back and forth, when you're down to that 3v1, someone gets slugged, and you teleport to the generator being worked, you're chasing the person on the generator, the other person has to pick up the slug. There's nobody on the generators. Well, add one more person to that scenario, and you've got someone picking up the slug, someone in chase, and someone else just working on the generator. And it just doesn't work in a 4v1. And as a result, we're sitting here going into the end game with 4 hooks on the board. This is not the way Umbrella wanted to start after such a great tournament. This is a very, very rough start for Team Umbrella, a very fantastic start for Team Invictus fans, because it looks like we're going to get at least 3 outs, perhaps 4. Let's not count that yet, but it looks like I can't see a world where we don't get 3 outs. It looks like Nightlight might die here, which is worth the least amount of hooks too.
Yeah, so it looks like it will be a 3 out here, and we're actually going to reset upstairs right above the exit gate here, which is, honestly, I do like this idea. I mean, if for any reason Swatter decides to commit them, he's like completely leaving the exit gates alone, and the survivors are like free to work the gates that aren't down there, obviously. Oh, hey, Nightlight. Anyways, yeah, this is a pretty solid result here for Invictus. Definitely going to be able to meet this win condition, I imagine. But like you mentioned, probably not the result that Swatter wanted to see. Either way you spin it, though, I mean, like, both sides have to play, and it's not over till it's over, right? I'm curious to see if Umbrella can pull a good result on Survivor's side here, good enough to maybe see the win or tie, one of the two.
And here we go. Sorry for the delay, everybody. We're ready to rock. So for everybody who is just coming back after taking a popcorn break, we are looking for 6 hooks or 5 hooks, 4 fresh. Obviously, like I said, Pedro's going to want to bring a pretty standard strategy here. And we hop immediately in a locker, and we're just going to camp in the locker and start to power up our Nightfall here a little bit. You can see getting towards 50% on Nightfall there. We are rocking Corrupt Intervention, which I find interesting. You don't always see Corrupt on Midwich or on Dredge, seeing as you can kind of pop around the map and keep pressure. But Pedro does have Corrupt. We're also looking at Ruin again, of course, and Eruption as a backup for Ruin, and then, of course, the Pain Res. So we're going to start our first chase here, Rob. I see Swatter.
I also see Swatter, and we're going to run to the clock tower here to just buy as much time as possible here. Now, something I'll mention is that you talked about Pedro just hopping into a locker to farm his Nightfall up a little bit, right? And that's a strategy that I see a lot from quite a few of like the best dredges, right? Is that we'll like just try to get our Nightfall up as much as possible before we commit to our first chase. And also, that's Ruin gone already, which is great for Umbrella. Oh, what a nice fake! That actually bought some nice time. Trying for it again, but first tag should be coming through here soon, and there it is. And if we can last a decent amount of time, this could be on track for a very similar result to what Swatter got last time.
It feels like that hit came in faster. Based on, like, you know, the first chases, we chased 2 or 3 survivors last time before we actually got a hit. Swatter this time doing really good job with the clock tower there, and that sort of, you know, it's not the strongest window there by the exit. Manages to last a pretty decent amount of time, but ends up taking the hit. However, we are going to make it to this God pallet at the staircase. We're going upstairs. We're just going to press W here and chase to the science room. Quick pre-drop on that one as well, and we left our remnant behind. It looks like... Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we make that. Good try by Swatter. One generator is going to get... It looks like they doubled that out. LeMagic almost has another generator done, but Pain Res will potentially stop it. It's going to be close. I apologize. They weren't doubling that up. Exercise is on a different one. Just got off the generator at the time. My bad. And they got... Wow, they got it at the second. That was frame perfect.
Wow, that is like almost the exact same momentum that Invictus had in the early game last match. And the only thing that separates it is finishing that second gen before Pain Res. That is like the big difference maker here. We are going to see LeMagic on another gen. The unhook comes through, and we're going to be teleporting right back to try to get our tunnel out, which I think is definitely a decision here for Pedro. He's definitely going to be looking to go for tunnel out here. Really nice pathing here from Swatter, and of course Hardwell's going to be here to take a hit. so that Swatter can make some distance, and we should be able to make another resource here. Unless, of course, Pedro cuts him off, but he teleports to a locked locker. So now Swatter gets a good amount of time to double back here and make another resource.
So this is what we want to see, but man, this is what we want to see Pedro do. The tunnel out is exactly what we're hoping for here. But man, did the survivors just step up and do exactly what they needed to get done there? A little bit lost in the sauce. He does a little 360 there, spinning around, but we do get the swing through and down Swatter. Pedro got a little confused there which way Swatter had gone, thought maybe he went to the window, did a little bit of a spin, but winds up working. You know, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe that was a mind game by Pedro to spin, but regardless. Third generator is going to pop, but this is exactly what you want to see from Pedro. If we can get this tunnel out done on Swatter when they have maybe, I mean, wow, this generator has a lot of progress too here, Rob. My goodness.
So, something that I'll say, Andrew, is that Umbrella and their teammates from a former team, Ariandel, have always been really good at working gens. Like, and that sounds like really silly and goofy, right? But like, it's actually such a good skill to have gen progress that is like really, really scary for the killer. I mean, like that's 4 gens that are nearly done. 3 of them have already popped. A 4th one is like 70%, and we're having to like switch focus here and focus on a different survivor here, which is just insane pressure for Umbrella here on the survivor side. And what a nice fake from Xeyes. We do get the down, so that's gonna be eruption popping on that the library, or yeah, the library gen. But like this is just insane pressure from Umbrella. We are gonna get our 3rd stage here, so 3 stages, 2 fresh. So we're making progress towards the tie condition. But either way you spin it, Andrew, this is just some insane pressure from Umbrella right now.
Great heads. This is such a small thing, but something I really appreciate. Pedro, Xeyes has boil over, which can hide the hooks in this map exceptionally well. But not only did Pedro go, I don't care, I know where my hooks are. He actually knew next door was a pain res hook, a scourge hook, and managed to get the pain res on Xeyes. So really, really good play there. I know it's something small, but just the awareness of these top level players in the world. We're gonna be chasing Swatter here. I was gonna say it's unfortunate Swatter managed to get away from the tunnel out there. Oh, good heads up. Swatter's so patient. Good job in getting away and getting healed up. And I think now, yeah, remember how we talked about plan A and plan B? We might be on plan B, because Swatter managed to get away and healed up. So I think now.
Wait a second. Okay. I was going to say, if Xeyes goes second here, which he was extremely close, by the way, I think if there was like maybe like a couple more seconds, Xeyes would have gone second, which was just a little bit scary for Umbrella there. We are going to find our next chase here onto La Magic, and we are, getting pretty close to the win condition here for Pedro. But we're also close to the win condition for Umbrella. So both teams are extremely neck and neck at the moment, with the gen progress being extremely high and the hook stage is getting like inching closer and closer to the tie condition of 5 stage 2 3 fresh. And right now, chasing our 3rd fresh survivor, another gen pops as well, which is great for Umbrella. And oh, what a nice vault here, and oh my goodness, this is fantastic right now for Umbrella, and a hit tank as well.
That is a very interesting hit tank, because Hardwell is a fresh hook as well, and Hardwell came in. It could have just been who's in the neighborhood, but they get the gens up. This is what I'm talking about. Like, it seemed like a foregone conclusion that Invictus wins this, but it's not over. We're on 3 hooks. We need 5 and 3 fresh just to tie. We need 6 hooks to win. Like, either of our fresh hooks would be a win if they die, but I mean, the survivors can do this. Like, they can get an unhook. There's 4 survivors. So if you hook somebody, there's still 3 left to get an unhook. A double unhook is one thing. A triple unhook is, textbook for an M1 killer. Are we even going to find anybody? Oh, the gate's open, Rob!
Wow, incredible for Umbrella here. Now, Pedro is currently chasing. Oh, wow. Nice eating the remnant by Swatter there. He might do it again as well, actually, if Pedro's not careful. But we are actually going to teleport. And yeah, I mean, that pal is just, you can't really do much about it from the long side here. and it looks like we have someone coming in to actually take the remnant again. But oh my goodness, this is fantastic from Umbrella. They are in such a good spot right now.
We're in a strong position as Pedro right now, while we're in Nightfall, but there's only about 25% of Nightfall left, and we're trying to make something work on this interesting palette over here.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, he almost did it!
He played that so well, though.
Swatter's healthy. Swatter's healthy. Swatter's gonna come in for a hit. This is locked.
Oh, and it's locked.
They did it. They did it.
What?
Wait.
No, yes. wait. Yeah, that's not even tied.
That's
not even tied.
5-2.
Yeah.
That's one fresh hook. They're gonna win. Sorry, Umbrella wins by one fresh hook.
That is phenomenal for Umbrella taking that first set. Wow,
I'm shocked.
That is. Oh my god, I am also shocked, Andrew. Invictus was in such a good position to win this, but Umbrella pulled through like no one's business. So right now, 5 stages 2 fresh versus Umbrella getting 5 stages 3 fresh. They pull through from one singular fresh stage, and that is fantastic for Umbrella. So now moving on to the second set with the Ghoul here. It is Invictus's game to lose. We are loading into the first match of the Ghoul set here with Nightlight on the Ghoul versus the Survivors Umbrella, that being Hardwell, LeMagic, Swatter, and Excise. And this is going to be interesting, right? First tag already coming through, and look at that! We have Forced Penance. What is Nightlight's plan with this, I wonder? Probably a lot of hit tanks are going to be coming in for the tunnel out, I imagine. And we'll be getting injuries, and broken status effects for the tunnel out protection hits.
We've been seeing Forced Penance, not every match, but a lot of matches for Ghoul. And yeah, I don't think it's like as I don't think you get as much value out of it, say you'd find against like maybe a doctor or somebody you take more hits for. But like you said, the situation where with the tunnel out, it absolutely comes into play, and I've seen some huge value from Forced Penance on the Ghoul set. That down came in, by the way, 41 seconds. Exceptionally good job. Injury on Swatter, essentially a 2-tap on LeMagic, and immediately after that, Pain Res hook comes in. We're gonna get our chase on Swatter. So Nightlight is not messing around here. They just lost the first set, and they are gonna be trying to get a really quick start here. As we're chasing Swatter, the unhook on LeMagic comes in, so we instantly leave that chase in rage. So we have our three leaps still, and we're gonna immediately go back and try and chase LeMagic here at Shack.
Very good patience from both players, by the way. Both Nightlight and LeMagic, just very, very patient right there at the Shack pallet. It comes down, and we also get the down as well at the double pallet setup onto LeMagic. So yeah, right now we're getting a second stage at 5 gens, and we do have some really good gen pressure for Umbrella. But wow, second stage at 5 gens is very, very good pressure for Nightlight.
We see Excise got a lot of progress on one generator. I think we found, this must be Swatter, because I hear, yep, Swatter's here. We hear the injury. We're going to put some eruptions down on these generators and immediately go back. Excise is going to get this, I forget what we called this, but the tunnel. These pipes. Going to get the pipe generator done. And other than that, though, yeah, Nightlight is pretty happy, just proxy camping. Okay, and the unhook is coming in. We did a weird, we almost got a strange, like, prompt there to get the bite on Hardwell there. The Forced Penance does come in. I don't know if we're actually going to get Forced Penance value, but it does mean that it does mean that Hardwell can't get healed up and do that. We get Enrage on LeMagic there. We are going to break Shack pallet, which had the chemical trap on it, but it's not going to hinder you too much. We accidentally find Excise. We're not looking for Excise. We are looking for LeMagic. Excise is trying to keep the tunnel out alive. We're going to chase over to this pallet gym. We're going to get the hit on Excise, and now...
Oh! What?
Unfortunate sandbag, but I mean, actually, is this crazy big brain where we get the grab, so therefore... I don't think it is. I think that was not, but LeMagic gets a little bit more distance, but wow. That was a bit of a sandbag on your own team there, buddy.
Yeah, that was probably not the best. Wait, no, okay, we didn't get the prompt steal, But we do get Lithe off, so right now we're able to make a little bit of distance, and we're able to make another resource here. Nightlight calls the double back into the window, but we actually have enough time to revolt again. And looks like Nightlight actually wants to switch targets here and get some more pressure from our fresh hooks, at least to like slug them for right now. LeMagic's still here, and we could be able to see this chase here come to an end shortly. Oh, nice double back from Nightlight. That's gonna be a down.
That's gonna be that. Everybody injured. Tunnel out dead. In theory. When this hook comes in, the tunnel out will be dead. It does come in, and so everybody's injured. 2 people broken. 3 generators done is pretty good, though. Given how quickly and how explosive the beginning of this match has been for Nightlight, 3 generators done is a pretty good start. Now, the survivors are going to definitely want to get 1 more down. A 4K1 would not be a terrible result. 4K2 would be a pretty tough result to match and definitely to beat. So we're going to take the hook on Swatter here. Interesting that we take the hook. Sometimes when you get to this point, you start seeing the triple slug. But then again, I think Nightlight knows approximately how much gen progress we have. And oh, wow. Oh, not only do we find Excise, but Excise makes a bit of a mistake and goes down immediately. And this could be over before I even finish talking. My goodness. Yep, it's over. There you go. Wow.
Yeah, and we find Hardwell as well. Yeah, so this is 4K2. That is an incredible result for Nightlight here. I mean, obviously, he needs to get the down, right, to confirm it. But, I mean, this is like almost guaranteed 4K2 here. If yeah, and this chase will be coming to an end shortly, and that's gonna be the down. 4K2 secured. Wow, very well played by Nightlight. Yeah, let's see if Umbrella can pull this off on their killer as well, because right now, I mean, like, that was an incredible showing from Nightlight's ghoul, and just another reason to like really like sell the idea that Nightlight is one of, if not the best ghouls in competitive DBD.
Good effort by the survivors. They came in. They tried to keep LeMagic alive as long as possible. The unfortunate, I don't know necessarily that I know that sandbag was funny, but I don't know if like the pallet drop. I don't know if that really changed the result.
But I'm looking forward to how they're gonna play this, considering the win condition is going to be just pop 4 gens.
Similar build, but we're looking at Ruin this time as opposed to the Force Penance. Again, I don't know if Force Penance did or didn't get value last time. We obviously applied the broken status, but I don't know if we at any point stopped. Oh, very close to getting a bite there. I don't know if at any point we stopped. You know, it really affected a heal coming in. Regardless, that's last match. Let's go this one. Hardwell having a bit of trouble getting our first bite here on Pedro. That's going to come in now finally. Little bit hesitant there on that bite there. Maybe not as, you know, obviously who has the same muscle memory as Nightlight on Ghoul, but man, that was a little bit hesitant. Didn't want to miss that jump. I don't blame. We get enraged. We're going to go across the map and see if we can interrupt some of these generators from going on. And we're looking for these scratch marks and we can't find them.
Yeah, really good pathing here by Dan, not allowing the bite to come in for free. So Hardwell's gonna have to play a little bit more aggressively for the bite here. We are gonna get the M1 and the vault, but Dan's got the window. Shack Pallet is going to come down, so that will buy a little bit more time for Dan. But yeah, this is oh wait, the down comes in. What?
That's both sides have had a weird pallet throw now, so they're even, you know.
I suppose so, yeah.
125 on that down, so a little bit faster. Sorry, a little bit slower than last time with the 41 seconds, I believe it was that Nightlight got. But again, hook and pain res on 5 gens, so we're about even. There's a little bit more gen progress now than there was last time. Ruin's gone, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that. Ruin got destroyed immediately.
I don't think we mentioned that, no, but it is worth mentioning now that we were able to talk about that, because there's been a lot of other stuff that was worth mentioning in the early game here. But yeah, Ruin being gone is definitely very big for Invictus here. They definitely need. Oh, what a nice vault! And Hardwell actually tries to go for the M1, doesn't get it, but does get the bite. Dan is Hardwell's tunnel out. Now it's worth mentioning, right? That Eruption is up on I believe at least 1 generator here. So if Dan is able to last for a little bit. Yeah, we'll see a gen pop. Another one's got some good progress. Kexo's on another generator with about like 60%. And oh my goodness, we've already met the tie condition. That is incredible for Invictus.
No, we're one off. It was working. Right.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We're close
one
though.
off from the tie
Pedro's
condition. That's
cranking
right.
it. Here we go. This is it.
This what I meant to say is this is where Hardwell needs to 4K. Otherwise, that will be the win for Invictus if we're able to pop 2 more. Which it's not going to be a super hard win condition to really have to fight that hard for. What a nice stun from Kexo! What? That was insane. Very good prediction from Kexo there.
It's really interesting too. I mean, I know you and I have talked about this a lot in the past, but when you have an exceptionally good killer on your team, it makes your it elevates your survivor play. When you're playing, you have to remember that Invictus not just, doesn't just have Nightlight to play killer for them. Invictus also has they play against Nightlight when they practice ghoul. So you were dealing with one of, if not the best ghoul in the world, as your warm-up, as your trainer.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
As a result, you get those great stuns by Hardwell. I will say too, it's by Hardwell, sorry, on Hardwell. I will say there was a couple times here where Hardwell seems, again, I think it's just maybe not a killer that they play as much. Umbrella plays as much. There's been a few times where we've gone for grabs where Nightlight is very precise and it's like, tic-tac-toe, ping, 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 we go. There's been a few times where Hardwell's gone for a swing, and at the last second the prompt goes away and misses. We found that a little bit earlier, right before the second down there, and it's interesting to see. Like, you can definitely see that this is not. You can see why Nightlight, the expertise of Nightlight really shines when you see no mistakes from one side. That is the tie condition right there.
Oh, and
that is the win.
And
yeah.
Oh my God, Pedro is having like the best chase of his life right now. This is a very good chase. Lithe is going to get denied here. I mean, he does get a little bit of distance, but Hardwell actually just latches onto him and slows him down for a little bit, which completely negates Lithe's entire haste boost. But yeah, the win condition being met here by Invictus means we're up 1-1 now. So at least set 4 is guaranteed, set 5 is guaranteed to be seen now. So that is absolutely incredible. Very good matchup here from both teams. We're up 1-1 now, so it just shows how much both these teams really want to take this win here, which is always very nice to see, honestly, Andrew.
And I mean, looking at the way this game is going, I mean, I think we're getting outs here. Obviously, lots can happen. I don't want to. My predictions are not exactly coming true after that dredge set, so I don't want to count our chickens before they hatch once again. But yeah, the survivors definitely have the advantage right now. We get the heal on Kexo somewhere on the map. Pedro is the only injured survivor, and we're just looking around. Looks like the survivors are taking a second to reset, relaxing, not trying to pressure these generators until everybody is healthy, so that way you can, there it is. Yep. Pedro comes in, and now you'll see the survivors start to tackle this last gen. Bit of a 3-gen. It's not much of a 3-gen, but it's kind of a ghoul 3-gen with the mobility.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, it can definitely still work out for Hardwell to still pull a lot more stages here from this from the gen split. It's still, like you said, still doable for ghoul, but it's going to be definitely harder than it would be if it was a more classic 3-gen that we see a lot of the time. We are going to be building up a couple of injuries here on the board. We got Dan injured, we have Kexo injured now, and we also have our Enraged thanks to Kexo. But yeah, right now, the gen split is, I'd say, good enough for the survivors to work with, but not so bad. Oh, what a nice consecutive.
Oh, good job.
What? Yeah, that was insane from Hardwell, actually. That was very good. But yeah, the gen split right now is definitely doable for the survivors to pop the last one. But it's not so insane that the ghoul will have an extremely difficult time defending them. You know what I mean? It's still doable from either side to see a lot more stages come in or to get outs with few stages. That's unfortunate for Kexo. We're gonna take it down there, and right now Hardwell is just kind of building up as much pressure as he possibly can here, and it's working for him, I'd say.
Yeah, Kexo doing what he can with that. That double pallet loop that only had one pallet left. Very strong when you got both pallets up. Pretty weak when one of them goes. And Did a pretty good job there. Kexo goes down. And I do enjoy, yeah, I was going to say, I love, it's so funny. I love, like, the killer knows what the survivors are doing. You see Pedro over there to get the instant unhook. And Hardwell knows, it's like, I know you're here because I know they're about to crack that gen in Shack. So he crosses the map, gets the Shack, gets there just a second too late. And as a result, they get the last generator done. Pedro comes in to tank a hit, 4 spits. See, right there where we kind of just missed the vault there a little bit. But actually, it actually works out in Hardwell's favor. Goes for a leap, misses the prompt, but because Spitz kind of saw the attempt go up, Spitz doubles back and takes the down. So kind of a humorous ending, and the survivors look like they're just gonna say, you know what, we win this, we're just gonna go.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, like 7 stages 3 fresh is you know, still a decent result for Ghoul. It's obviously not going to be the win condition. The win condition was 4K3, since 4K2 was achieved by Nightlight. So yeah, right now I'd say like this is still like, you know, it's still a good showing from Hardwell. He definitely, you know, still accrued a good amount of stages and had quite a few moments where he pulled off some really nice leaps to like cut off and catch up where he needed to. So still a nice showing from Hardwell, despite not meeting the win. And so far, we're up 1-1 in favor of both teams here, with the Invictus survivors being Spitz, Pedro, Nightlight, and Dan. And then we have Swatter on the Deathslinger here for Team Umbrella. And right now, Swatter's looking to put up the best win condition possible, right? Deathslinger is going to be an interesting one because there is, like you mentioned, a pretty high skill ceiling to Deathslinger's kit. A nice shot attempt coming through, not going to land, but I saw the vision there from Swatter. It looks like he's just going to leave this. He's going to go try to find someone else. He was looking for an early tag, but it's not going to come through. So now we're going to look around the map and see what else we can find.
Keep in mind, this is Swatter's pick. This is Umbrella's pick. So this is now a killer that Swatter should feel pretty comfortable playing as. That first shot, if that's any indication, we are swinging for the fences, and I'm here for it. I want to see some amazing shots here by Swatter. We see very mild gen progress on a couple generators. We've seen some scratch marks. We haven't really seen any survivor other than Dan through the window that one time. Very gen regression build here. We got Corrupt Intervention followed by Pain Res, Pop, and Eruption. So we are looking to prolong those generators as long as possible. Interesting. Goes for a really long shot there, and I think that was Spitz. Doesn't quite connect. It was interesting. It was like he was looking for the no juke, and it looked like it just barely missed. And Swatter might have the right recipe here. We just gotta put some ingredients together. We are now going to be starting chase on Pedro.
Oh,
and there it
is. Very patient here from Swatter. And we're gonna get some cigar value here with a very quick break from Swatter's Deathslinger. And oh yeah, this is really good pathing here from Pedro as well. Catches the double back from Swatter, so really nice to see that. And if Pedro's not careful, we can see that that really nice shot coming in at the jungle gym. It's very doable on the jungle gym, more than most people would expect actually. So Pedro's gonna make his distance actually, forces the break at the jungle gym, and now Spitz is here for a hit thing actually.
Does get the hit on Spitz. Another injury will come through, but and forces the swing, so we don't get any cigar value there. It's very important when, for just to be clear, the cigar is going to reduce the stun from breaking the chain. If you force that, if you force the chain to break out in the open, it can be a very quick 2-tap. So Spitz, I'm sure, was standing there like a fish on a hook, not struggling, and made the swing come through, but that's going to be a quick hit. Interesting. Wow, really good emote there to almost get to the pallet where there's no one there for the save, and in order to make it to the save, we're going to see 2 generators go for that first hook on Spitz. And I don't even know if we're going to get pain res value. There might be a little bit of progress on the board, but I think that that's probably a wasted pain res as far as like how much value you get out of regression.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there was not a whole lot of progress on the board outside of those 2 gens that popped. So pain res probably hit like a very low percentage gen, which is great for Invictus. And that's honestly something that I think that like these top teams really try to coordinate actually, especially if they're able to pop, their high progress gens and then have another one that has like very low progress. It's like it's almost feels like what he hits
Good
that.
shot.
That is insane, actually. Very very good shot there from Swatter. Now it is going to be on the already injured survivors, so the only thing that's going to come out of this is removing the endurance status, which if we're able to last for a little bit, that shouldn't matter too much. But right now, Spitz is... Oh, wait a second. Spitz is playing a pretty unsafe portion of the loop, but yeah, we are going to make the pallet this time, but we're going to die on it, looks like. And no one's around for the pallet save, looks like. I mean, Dan's in the area, but he's not playing for it. He's not really close enough to play for it. But let's see if maybe... I think Dan's just going to be here for a quick unhook. Especially considering, like, look at all that gen progress in the background, Andrew.
Yeah, another gen's about to pop. We got a fourth gen with some progress on it. That was, I gotta say, Swatter, nerves of steel. Like knowing that people who are in the neighborhood got, the unhook came in and whatnot, and just picks up under pallet and doesn't care. Really, really strong move there. So we are gonna get the unhook on Spitz, and we're not going back for the ton out. I realize that there's a lot of gen progress coming through. Swing through the pallet there. Good stun by Nightlight on the Cowtree pallet. This Cowtree will be less effective now, but this window's still pretty strong. I think we're going to see an M1 come through here. Comes through. I'm shocked we didn't go back here, Rob. I feel like the tunnel out with Spitz could put us in a better position. I get switching gears and going for stage. Oh, wow, that just missed. I get switching gears and going for stages, but are we there yet? Is that what we're doing?
I mean, with all this gen progress on board, it's not a bad idea to branch off and kind of get some gen kicks out there. But right now, I think we are in such a good position to just play for the tunnel out on Spitz. Oh, what a nice shot attempt. But Nightlight actually kind of... Oh, what? The gen progress is insane from Invictus right now. 4 gens popped for 2 hooks on 1 single survivor. So like right now, like Invictus is in a very, very good spot. It is completely their game to win here.
Yeah, I take back what I said about 30 seconds ago when I was like, well, there's still 3 gens left. Why don't you go for your tunnel out? Never mind. Now we're in a stage game. We need to get as many stages as we can, preferably before the next generator pops. Nice thing is we do have a... we do have a... I'm sorry, that was very... Oh my goodness, the jukes from Pedro. There was a pain res in that corner, so I was thinking to myself, well, we get the down over here and we can get the pain res off right away, but instead, we're hiding in the corner. There you see it. Okay, can we get this pain res before? There's another hook there too, another scourge hook. Can we get this pain res before the last generator pops and prolong this game a little bit longer?
I think it's possible, but will that be the case? We have the hook coming in right now. And yeah, okay, it must have been extremely close because Spitz ate the pain res. So yeah, it must have been extremely close, honestly. But it looks like Swatter's gonna go out and see if he can find that gen progress. So far, I mean, like we actually got the unhook very, very quickly. So it seems like it was definitely gonna be something that was worth pulling quickly over. We do get the the endurance status out of the way with the cigar there. And if we can just, get this down as quickly as possible, we might be in an okay spot here for Swatter. We might be in a little bit of a comeback. Very nice shot attempt from Swatter, but it's going to miss here.
I think that gen might not have had as much progress as we thought, because there it is. It pops now, but that took quite a lot longer than I expected. So we're now chasing Nightlight in this corner, along with, it went from Nightlight taking hits for Pedro to Pedro wants to take hits for Nightlight now. We don't want, look at it. We do not want 2 hooks for Pedro. We want 3 hooks, or at least the fresh hook for Nightlight here. Oh, good juke by Pedro again. A little bit of an ambitious shot there by Swatter. Kind of a quick shot without an attempt. Now, this might be interesting. If we can make this shot on Nightlight, no, we end up hitting Pedro. I was gonna say, even if we hit Nightlight, there is a world where we pinch off the, we can pinch off the chain and stop him from going down. But as a result, that is going to be 2 more hooks here on Pedro. And what is that? That's 5 hooks, 2 fresh. That is a very strong survivor result again.
Very, very true. Yeah, very well played by Invictus here. Their gen progress was just absolutely insane, and their chases were not like 2 taps at all. They were having really good chases here. And Swatter just, you know, putting on a pretty solid performance on Deathslinger here. Mechanically, very good. Macro still really good as well, but Invictus Survivors were just on top of it this match. Either way, we are loading into the second match of the Deathslinger set with Pedro on the Deathslinger versus the survivors of Umbrella, that being Darice, Swatter, Excise, and Hardwell. And they have a tough win condition ahead of them here, Andrew. They have to be less than 5 stages too fresh, which is not going to be easy, especially with Pedro on the killer, and he is looking to play for fresh stages, I would imagine. But, I mean, either way you spin it, this is going to be difficult.
Darice joining the fog for Team Umbrella for the first time today. Takes a shot here. We were on him for a second there, and now he made some distance over to Shaq. I think we were scared of a head-on there for a second, hiding out back and forth in front of that locker. We do not want to chase into our corrupted generators. Interesting. Rather than Pop Goes the Weasel, we do see a very spicy perk. Dragon's Grip being applied to that generator there. We'll have to wait and see if we get any value. I would say that it's not an unusual, I don't think it's a shocking perk to pick, but the survivors may be surprised the first time they touch a generator. Has not happened yet. And we're just going to walk around. We're going to play some eruptions down. And we're going to try and get a advantageous chase here. Survivors doing a really good job of pre-leaving their generators, making distance, not giving Pedro a target that he can shoot at. And yeah, I mean, here they go. They're coming on back. We're going to be doubling main, and looks like we're just hiding out. We're just playing a very safe game. Unfortunately for our killer, we had applied Dragon's Grip on a different generator, and this one in here would have been a really nice one because we could have committed to a generator. Mind you, I don't know about you, Rob. Can you tell the difference between a Nancy and a Lara scream? Because I don't know if I would know off, from the top of my head.
Yeah, I would say I'd be able to. They're different enough that I can see a difference between both of them. Nice drop of the Shack pallet there, just kind of trying to buy ourselves as much distance and time as possible. And yeah, that tag was very interesting, by the way. It came through like the very back of the survivor's hitbox, and then went straight to oh, what a nice stun by Hardwell. That was insane, actually. Very good stun. But yeah. That was a very interesting tag. Oh, nice shot attempt, but it's not going to land. Hardwell already makes it to the pallet, and Jungle Gym coming down as well. So now some pretty good time being bought here for our survivor teammates to pop gens.
We're doing a lot of zoning here. Wow, again, same as the Shack hit there, hey? Like the Shack window, just like clipping the last loop of Lara's belt there. And this pain res is going to come in before I think they were doubling a generator, and then they switched off, I think, if I was reading the HUD correctly. And they switched off because it looked like they were going to get gens done before the pain res came in, and it didn't happen. So now some gens are almost done. One gen's going to get completed. There's another one about 75%. Great long shot onto Darice. Great shot there. My goodness. That hit's going to come through. It looks like we're going to get Excise is going to finish the second generator, but things are looking pretty good. That was a slow start for Pedro. Well, I wouldn't say slow. Equal start for Pedro. About 2 minutes 38 seconds. So almost exactly the same first down as we saw last match, last game. But getting that extra hit is definitely going to help. We do see the unhook coming in here, and we're going to interrupt it. If this breaks the chain, we should be able to get the unhook here, but we're going to get another fresh hook and pain res here onto Swatter. Yeah, don't bother with the tunnel up. This is too much pressure. Wow.
Yeah, definitely the way you want to play this here, right? With getting a fresh hook here, we should be able to make the win condition, I think a lot easier if we just play for fresh stages, especially if you're going to force trades. Should be a lot better for Pedro here. We are going to interrupt another generator as well with pain resonance, which is really nice for Pedro. Slowing the game down for a team that is really efficient on generators is going to be extremely crucial here for Pedro. So right now, we're looking for our next chase here. Now, whether or not Pedro wants to play for the trade on the next unhook, or if he wants to play for a chase on the next on another generator to be interrupted, is really up to Pedro. But it looks like we have our decision here. It looks like he wants to play for the unhook survivor. We are gonna nice shot attempt, not gonna land though, and that's a really interesting tile spawn there for the seawall.
We're gonna get that shot off. Takes the hit, doesn't even wait for the break there. So what we're doing here is okay, everybody's injured. If there's still 3 gens left, I know they got a pretty decent amount of gen progress. If we can get this down on Excise, we take this hook. At that point, we just got to make our 5 hooks because that'll be our 3 fresh. So I like what we're seeing here from Pedro. Mind you, I don't know, Excise is watching these check spots pretty well. Goes for a blind shot around the corner, doesn't quite hit, almost goes through him. I don't know how that one missed. Man, Excise has been getting away with a lot here. I think that, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't see how we get out of that again this time, but 2 generators pop for that. Okay, so Excise cannot die on hook. So they need to do some resets. They need to get a gen done. They need to get a gen done. They need to get resets, and they need to not let Excise die on hook. Obviously, first hook is not a bit, but basement. Interesting.
Oh, this.
What do you do here, Rob? Do you camp this, or do you camp, or do you range out into the field here?
I suppose, honestly, what would be best here is to kind of play it by ear, right? Like, you can camp this to get the win, but I mean, if a chase is pretty free, like in front of you, or like even like a generator being worked like right next to you, you could play for that. I mean, Pedro is branching out a little bit. He is leaving the basement, and the save comes through very, very quickly. Now, depending on who this is, I mean, like if any survivor were to die on hook here, it would be the win for Pedro. We've already achieved the three freshes. Now we just need some more stages here to be able to meet the win condition. So this is definitely looking pretty good for Pedro. He just needs to guarantee a death here, and that will be the win. It doesn't matter on which survivor. He's already achieved enough fresh stages that if anyone were to die on hook, that would be the win. But right now, we are going to find our next chase onto, and that's going to be, what a nice grab off the window as well. Very, very patient for Pedro. And we are going to actually branch out and use a pain resonance just to slow the game down a little bit, which would make this a little bit easier for Pedro. And this is going to be in 3-gen as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, we're 1 hook away at this point. I said, oh, sorry. It shocked me that I was like, oh, we're going back to basement. Oh, no, we're not. Okay, cool. I agree with this, though. This is now we're looking at a position where we're in a really, really strong. Next hook is the win. So, but we do let Excise go for free. I thought it was really interesting. We hit Swatter, who's equally as valuable as Excise before that last hook, like when the unhook came in basement. And we decided to stay at Shack because Pedro's just like, you know what? Shack pallet's gone. I can win at Shack. I beat Excise once. I'll beat him again. And yeah, great grab on the window there. Looking for Hardwell here. We're gonna get the cigar chain break here. Injury and deep wounds, and man, like, yeah, there's just not a lot of gen progress either. I mean, do we see a 4K here?
It's possible, unlikely in my opinion. But yeah. There's a certain thing that I think is worth mentioning here, and if Umbrella actually plays to keep this this next chase as long as possible, that could be a bit of a mistake that Pedro can capitalize on to get a 4K, which I mean I think that's what you're noticing if I'm not mistaken, and it's very likely that we actually see something like that happen, right? I've seen quite a few teams play to keep the win condition intact and lose because of it. Because the gen progress drops off the map, right? There's no gen progress, and they're just playing to keep their next chase as long as possible without going down, and that could be something that we see come into fruition. Nice shot attempt from Pedro, but not gonna happen. And yeah, I think it's worth mentioning because I've seen that quite a few times. Another nice long-range shot from Pedro, and getting the tag onto Dare Ice, the last and final fresh hook and pain resonance stack. But looks like Pedro doesn't really want to commit to this. He wants to find the next chase here. Particularly on a gen that's being progressed.
You're exactly right. That's kind of the point. If you tank 3 hits to keep the last hook alive, that's where things can kind of turn the other way. But interesting. I would have thought, like, there's no hemorrhage or mangled on the board right now. It looks like we're in chase with Excise across the map. I would have thought Excise and Hardwell. There it is. Excise goes down. We're gonna get a kill and our win condition. I was going to say, I'm surprised we didn't see resets coming in, given that we had multiple injuries across the map. But, well, here's what you were just talking about. We're going to take a hit and go for a flashlight blind, but it's not going to be enough. Excise is going to go down, and that will now I thought we were going to say this in the first set, but in the third set, Invictus does take one of Umbrella's killers from them. So Umbrella pick Deathslinger, Invictus takes the set, and that puts Invictus in a very strong position because now they have managed to steal a set, and that's really good for them.
Absolutely, yeah. And right now, yeah, with all 3 survivors injured here, this could really snowball for Pedro if he plays this right. And I mean, the win is already secured, right? Invictus has already taken the win. They've already met the win condition. But I mean, Umbrella still wants to set the best result possible, right? And if Pedro can snowball this with all 3 survivors injured right now, it could turn out very well for the killer side here for Pedro.
I've enjoyed the long shots we've seen from Pedro. I've enjoyed the snipes through the windows. It's been interesting though. Both sides have had some pretty good, you know, there's been some near misses as well, but I gotta say, I think Pedro, you know, even though this was Umbrella's pick, good jukes there by Hardwell. Even though this was Umbrella's pick, man, Pedro, clearly a very skilled slinger. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that missed. I thought that was a hit for sure. No hit comes through, and survivors are staying alive as long as they can here. Progress about 50% on this generator, about 50% on the other generator. This is not a good position though for Derice to be in back behind this this combine here.
Very true, and it looks like that's going to be a miss for Pedro. Derice is able to make it into the map and away from that extremely unsafe location, which is really, really good for Derice. Now, it looks like Pedro actually has to leave that because, I mean, if you look at this generator over here by Shaq has a ton of progress on it. If Pedro's able to get it down, that's going to be eruption on both these 2 remaining gens, which would be huge for him. He is going to find a chase here at main building, but doesn't really want to commit to it. Dragon's Grip going to let Pedro know that that Swatter got right back on this gen and is taking the chase over to Shaq, it looks like.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Whenever we see Call of Brian, I never hesitate to say, by the way, it's also an information perk. Something I never think about. Dragon's Grip is an information perk, too. In this situation where you're trying to track down 3 survivors who are really trying to, you know, not get found. There it is right there. Good shot. Oh, but the gen pops, well done. Wow. Gen pops, good for them. Yeah, Dragon's Grip gives you information, too, because as soon as they scream, you know, someone not only where they are, but, you know... You know, hey, this generator, I'm going to kick it, I'm going to regress it, and as soon as someone touches it, it's like an alarm I set on the generator. So, something that, you know, it's sort of the unexpected or unmentioned value of Dragon's Grip. Good job by the survivors, though. That was really looking like a 4K. It really was. Instead, we're going to get Derice out clean, and Hardwell gets out as well. So that is going to be 5 hooks out the door for a 7-hook game. Pedro, great game, though.
Very, very, very great game. Pedro from Team Invictus on the Mastermind versus the survivors of Umbrella, that being Grenow, Swatter, Derice, and Hardwell. And man, I am looking forward to the set. I love Mastermind sets, and I've been actually really enjoying him on Disturbed Ward, actually. I think it's an interesting map pick, and it honestly justifies the tier placement for Mastermind in the winter circuit here. Now, looks like we're going to be branching out over to the Shack where Swatter is working a gen right now and should be finding the first chase here.
That is a pre-drop of all time, but I support it. I enjoy it. We don't want to be taking an early hit for no reason. I like that a lot. We do have Egg and Jewel Beetle, so we're going to have a little bit more of a delay between our dashes for our Wesker. And Jewel Beetle, of course, can get incredible value if you manage to get a throw against a wall or edge map or whatnot. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. No injuries on the board yet. We have a very gen regression heavy build again with the pop eruption with the pain res, and the corrupt intervention is about getting towards 75% done here. Looks like we have found a chase. Looks like another really strong pre-drop. Again, these survivors are not taking any chances. They are dropped. Wow. Great mind game there by Pedro, though. Pulls up and drops the power. We're going to take a hit here and a throw. That's huge. Stuck in the corner. Can he get through? Even if he gets through, he's on the weak side of this pallet. This could be a very quick down. We're going to stub our toe there a little bit. And the grab comes in.
Egg got
value,
him that down.
baby. Let's go.
Wow, incredible from Pedro there. I actually thought that oh man, Darius couldn't have guessed that Pedro had egg, right? I mean, he could have guessed, but he couldn't have known for sure, right? And that's what got Pedro that down there. That was really patient. Pedro did kind of mess up the first bound, but with egg, he was able to get into a better position with it, and Darius kind of overextended a little bit. And oh man, nice double down there from Pedro, getting the tag onto Gren out there. But look at that gen progress. We're gonna pop 2 different gens here for it, looks like.
Looks like it, and actually, I don't know if Hardwell got off that generator. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say I don't know if we got off to escape. Yeah, okay, we did. I wasn't sure if Wesker was coming upstairs or if we were just doing it so we don't give too much information to the killer where we are and whatnot. But yeah, it seems like Wesker did come into main. We're gonna have Hardwell go back upstairs. Unhook is coming through, but it's gonna be a trade. And given the fact that one gen's about to pop, we might, yeah, we're gonna take that pain res. Only one generator's popped, meaning we kick this generator in main. We know how much progress is in main. So we get the pain res up there. Now we're going to try and continue this tunnel out on Darice. We're not chasing Darice because that's where he is. We know he's there because he used the spray. But instead, we're going to come upstairs and try and interrupt main building gen. I don't know, Rob. We talked about this particular situation with this particular killer player. I don't want to pass any judgment on Pedro's strategy, but I always get a little bit of an itch in the back of my neck. I get a little twitchy when we're not tunneling out. So I'll let Pedro cook, but this is interesting. I'll say interesting.
Yeah, very true, very true. I do think it's interesting. We were seeing Pedro actually, kind of like camp the main building area, just kind of like get a good visual on where the survivors are at, what they're doing, and just kind of hold the gen progress in main building for a little bit. Because as you can see, like the gen progress has slowed down a bit. And yeah, sure. I mean, like the survivors of Umbrella have really pulled that back and have started different gens because they knew there's no point in just like, trying to fight for the same gens if they can just get on different ones, which is a really good quality for Team Umbrella to have, honestly. They're in position to get on different gens when they need to. Swatter does go second there, by the way, and Pedro held that very, very well. We are going to see Hardwell was here working the main building generator, just trying to be as persistent on the main building gen as possible. And Swatter gets unhooked in the distance, and now Pedro can play for this tunnel out in a lot better fashion.
Pretty quick pull on Swatter's second hook there. Like, he'd only been in second stage for maybe 10 seconds, and they get the pull. So if Swatter can get to some good position, I mean, we got out of that dead area of the map. The area where Swatter and Darice had gone down was pretty dead. We'd broken a lot of pallets, and yeah, you know what? This actually works out. We cross the map. We get to a better position with some pallets. We're going to pre-drop these pallets, stay alive as long as possible, and you can see 2 generators pop there. Patience. Oh, good juke there. A little left-right from Swatter, and he survives, and Pedro's got to leave. Yeah, Pedro wants to go stop these generators from popping, maybe get some more stages from somebody else, potentially get a pain res if we can, maybe find injured Gren out here. But really, really, really great chase by Swatter to stay alive there. There is not going to be a tunnel out at this point.
Very true, yeah. He's got to switch focus here. We are going to be chasing Darice here in the main building, who has already been hooked once. Might make it to this God pallet. He does, but Pedro's just going to vault it. And I think he'll catch up in time. Yeah, he does catch up in time to get the down. But he's gonna fall off the main building.
During that time, again, not a hook is a hook and it's good. So Darice is going to go on hook for the second time here. They managed to reset both Swatter and Gren out. So a little bit unfortunate for Pedro that we weren't able to find Gren out while he was injured for the fresh hook. Anyone we find at this point, we're going to have to start a full, two hit chase here. We are in the neighborhood. Have we spotted? Again, the primary targets at this point, unless you can get a quick kill on Darice or Swatter, the primary targets are going to be getting fresh hooks from either Grenout or Hardwell. The 3 generators currently... Yeah, okay, well, you know what? We find injured Darice, and we kind of patrolled the generators. We kind of know how much progress is there, so we feel comfortable for a second here, at least for now, committing to this chase. This is a very strong rock pallet. It is humongous. I don't know if we can dash around this. Mind you, when there's somebody running behind the chase
Wait a
named
second.
Swatter, we're gonna take that edge map throw. That's probably gonna be a quick death, but also look on your HUD there, Rob. Grenout and Hardwell are gonna finish this last generator, and there's no pain res on these survivors. Eruption goes off, but that's probably not gonna be enough.
Yeah, he should be able to get the hook here, but that's not going to stop the gen. They are going to pop the gen here, and that's both fresh survivors on the other side of the map. So right now, yeah, really good position here for the survivors of Umbrella to be in. But again, Pedro is going to catch up with this and possibly get a tag, maybe even a down if he's able to, onto one of these survivors. But look at that, Darice has a ton of progress on the exit gate.
Yeah, Darice was right there at the time. We're gonna get the hit on Grenout, but there's a lot of yeah, I was gonna say we have survivors to take hits. It's interesting. That was a very interesting choice. Darice came back to take a hit, but Hardwell was still. Are we trying to Mori and it's not working?
I think he was getting, yeah, I think he was trying to get the Mori.
It just, they weren't out the gate yet. This is an extra hook they didn't have to give up. I mean, it's still a good result for the survivors, but Lara could have tanked a hit there, and they all get out. So that was interesting. If Swatter goes down there quicker, Pedro comes out with a very strong result.
Very true, very true. But either way you spin it, honestly, I think it's really good to mention that 6 stage 2 fresh is not a bad result. But we are loading into the second match of the Mastermind set here with actually Grenout on the Mastermind instead of Swatter or Hardwell. That was my prediction, but it's actually gonna be Grenout instead. And Grenout, you know, a killer player who I've seen a few times and is pretty solid. So this is an interesting player to have play for the Mastermind set, but not one that I'm unhappy with. Grenout is pretty solid. We are going to be taking first chase on the Pedro, who is doing a really good job on Survivor right now, lasting as long as he can on chase, and actually switching over to Spitz with the same pre-drop and the vault into Shack. It happened
with Renato.
again.
Renato again too.
Yeah, with a Renato player. That was just wild.
We're calling that the Renato play from now on.
It's deja vu all over again here, and yeah. We're getting, we haven't gotten a tag yet, though, so right now, the survivors of Invictus are in a really good spot, and with gen progress being really good right now, I mean, this is looking great right now for Invictus survivors.
Slight perk change, perk difference. We don't have Pop Goes a Weasel. We do have Brutal Strength. I'm a big fan of Brutal. No, good try there. I am a big fan of Brutal. Pallets can be a little bit annoying when you're trying to get your dashes in, so quicker break on pallets is going to be a nice addition. Looks like we're probably gonna get. Oh no, we don't vault. We just full send it, but man, yeah, this is going really well. You can see, looks like they doubled one generator. One gen's done. Pedro's mostly done a second generator. This is a very strong start for the survivors. And oh my goodness, random Pedro comes in to take a hit. And it works. Spitz is not going to go down here. I think that could have been a hit. We could have got that double dash on Spitz at that pallet as the pallet throw comes in. You know, it might have missed. We might have got the vault off, but Pedro interferes. And interestingly enough, we leave the 2 injured survivors, and now we're chasing Dan. I don't know about this strategy. This feels like there's 2 opportunities for your first down, and instead now we're going for a 3rd injury. Maybe this pays off in the future. Maybe this is like, you know, investment for future gains where we have injured survivors, but maybe that is not the case because now Pedro is healed. We're going to get a grab and a throw with the Jewel Beetle. It doesn't result in a down. We need this down today. We need this down yesterday. We're going to swing through that pallet. We're now on the other side here. Can we get it? And okay, we finally get the first down on Dan, but really good job by the survivors.
That first down comes in at 2 minutes 55 seconds, which isn't like a terribly long time, but for Mastermind, it feels like that was an extremely long down. It was almost 3 minutes, and if you look at the gen progress is just really good for Invictus right now. I mean, yeah, sure, 1 gen's popped, but like there's multiple other gens that have significant progress on them. So right now, yeah, like Invictus is in a very good spot. We are going to take another injury onto Rocket here. And if we can last as long as we can in this chase, we're going to be in a pretty good spot for Invictus survivors. Oh, very good vault there from Grenout. That's a bit scary for a Rocket, and he gets the down onto Rocket as well, while Dan is still on hook. Another gen does pop, so we're now at two gens popped, 3 remaining, and the unhook does come through. And the Shack gen also has really good progress as well.
You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this may be the first time in this tournament in Dead by Daylight League, you know, other than the maybe the Community Cup, which I'm not 100% sure, that we've seen Taeyong Kwan in the fog here. So very interesting new survivor. Big fan of the design there. Like to see it. We have Rocket on hook. Dan does get unhooked, but not able to get the heal off. So we are going to be continuing that chase here. This is looking pretty strong, and a great double dash by Granout for the grab on Dan. No throw this time. We're just gonna slam him right up against that TL wall and get the hook. Great play by our killer here. Great play by Granout. Third generator does pop, but wow, what a great dash.
You know, it's incredible to mention this, right? Invictus loves Mastermind, right? Like they are very, very good on Mastermind sets. And right now it's becoming completely apparent to me why Grenout is playing Mastermind for Team Umbrella. Like that was just some expert level, mechanics on Mastermind. Very, very good. Oh, the stun from Pedro was really good. We're definitely gunning for another fresh hook because we're getting so close to the win condition. And now we're switching our chase over to Spitz, looks like. And oh yeah, Grenout wants to play for this next tag here, and should be getting it shortly actually if we're not careful. What a dodge! Second one's gonna hit though. But yeah, I mean Spitz needs to last as long as he can in this chase. 2 gens are remaining, and we're getting close to the win condition for either side. It's neck and neck right now for both. But the down comes through on his Spitz through the pallet, by the way. What a down! All right, and right now we only have 1 injury on the board, and Rocket's in chase right now. Not the injured survivor, so that's at least gonna guarantee a longer chase here. And oh, what? How did that miss? Actually, that was incredible from Rocket. But yeah, like that missing is just incredible to me, honestly. We are gonna branch out and leave, try to find our next chase here. We find Pedro, who does have a pallet here. It's not the best one in the world. We're actually gonna take the injury through it and try to make it to another resource if possible. Grenout's going to hold up power and actually try to cut off Pedro through the main building, but it's not going to work. Pedro is just holding really good check spots here.
This window can be very, very strong, as shown here. Pedro is our last fresh hook, and I mean, fresh hooks are kind of irrelevant at this point, but obviously the more hooks, the better. Great dodge there. Dodge out by Pedro, but we are going to go down under this pallet, unfortunately. Looks like Dan will get that last generator, sorry, the second last generator done. This will be our 4th fresh hook. This will be our 5th hook all day, and they are 1 hook away. Grenout is 1 hook away from the win.
It's getting extremely close. We do have all 4 fresh stages now. And that's going to be very, very crucial for Grenout here. Now, I think that since we do have 5 stages for fresh, that's already the win. Since 4 fresh are now obtained, having more fresh
6 hooks last time. Right? Am I crazy? Can I not count? It's 5.
Oh right? No, you're right. It was
yeah.
6. But yeah, I mean, like this is still looking really good for Grenout either way. I think he's definitely on track to win it if this isn't considered the win condition already. Now we are going to be chasing Dan here, who is the death hook survivor. Rocket not there in time for the body block, so yeah, that's going to be the down onto Grenout. And with the gen progress, I mean, it's not bad at all. But either way, I mean, this is going to be the death hook before all 5 gens get completed, and we're tripling the last gen, Andrew. We are tripling the last gen.
I like the commitment. They're hard workers. They're fixing them motors. They get the generator done. The match is already, for win condition, the match is already over. Looks like we'll probably get a couple outs here. We might end up seeing a 2K in the end. But that's, so let's go back to it. I mean, it's looking more and more likely we're going to see Crosshair today. Umbrella takes their first killer in Dredge. Invictus takes their first killer in Ghoul. Then Invictus steals Deathslinger, and Umbrella says, "Yeah, that's fine. We'll just steal your Wesker win." And we're back to a 2-2 game here. So we're doing basically in a best of 3 situation for the last one.
Yeah. It is definitely getting extremely tense right now, and it's crazy to me that both teams are stealing each other's sets. Like that is just wild to me. And not only that, but like we're just like neck and neck right now. We're tying, and we're tying. It is just getting unbelievable how far into this matchup we're actually gonna go, and the fact that we're just like tying each set, and we're just like raising each other's hands here, and just getting closer and closer to each other. It's just wild to me.
So we'll have to see how that goes. Grenout loads in. We're going to start with that fly. Immediately, the perks are Corrupt Intervention, Pop, and Pain Res with Eruption. So again, just heavy regression. And we're going to start our first chase over here on this tile against Pedro. We pick up that pallet and play the short side.
I think Grenout expected Pedro to go for the... Oh, what? We expected Pedro to go for the vault, and we tried to deny the vault with the mage hand. We are going to take the down. That was actually a rather quick down for a Lich set, if I'm not mistaken. That comes in, I think it was like below a minute, if I'm not mistaken. It was fairly quick into the match. Painrez coming in as well, and yeah, that was just really well played by Grenout in the early game there.
I liked the use of the skeletons there. There's one thing, the underappreciated use of the skeletons is their ability to zone. If you don't shoot those skeletons when we do, Pedro can make it to that TL wall, and then you're playing an M1 killer at a TL wall, right? So because of that, we shot the Flight of the Damned out. Oh, going for maybe a snipe on the hook. Very ambitious skeletons. We were able to prevent him from getting the tile, and that made him try and play that filler pallet, and we weren't able to make it in time. So really well played by Grenout. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far.
Now, a little bit of stats in the background here for you. That first down came in at 34 seconds. That is ridiculously fast for Lich. Might have been, you know, I gotta ask the staff in the background if they have this answer, because I would love to know. But that might be one of the fastest Lich first downs we have ever seen. That was pretty incredible by Grenout. Now, following this up, Pedro's going to head all the way back to Shack, intends to use the Shack pallet for his second chase here. But yeah, that is some incredible pressure in the beginning of this match. A nice use of skeletons, but I think he actually used that on same elevation, even though he did drop on. Yeah, he dropped into the basement to use it. But I think he was at same elevation when he actually fired them off. Mage hand gone now, so Pedro can drop the Shack pallet. It's gonna have to be broken. Really good pathing by Pedro, just to kind of like slow down this the Lich's pressure in this match here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that we came up to. So it is interesting. I've mentioned this in the past. The skeleton release, when you cast it, what matters is when you push the button. That was a bit late on the skeletons there. When you cast it is when the elevation is decided. It's kind of like Skull Merchant, where you put out a drone. Interesting. Good double back there. Pedro got a little bit over his skis and wasn't able to get back to the generator there. Yeah, you know when you put out a drone as Skull Merchant and keep walking, but it ends up back where you press the button? It's the same thing with the skeletons, where as soon as you push the button, you identify where it is, but I do think that the button was pushed a little bit higher on those stairs and it was able to be ducked. Good second chase there by Pedro after the very quick 2-tap in the first chase. Looks like we're going to continue here. And oh my goodness, Rocket just full sends it. I guess thinking I'm going to take the hit and distract from the hook. And yeah, takes the damage and Rocket runs. And Grenout decides to come back to the hook, which I absolutely appreciate. I like coming back here, Rob.
Looks like Grenout's trying to body block from the pallet, but Dan knows better and just sends it to the pallet. He knows he makes that resource, even if the body block does come through. But the M1 comes through there as well. Dan taking that injury was a little bit unfortunate, but it did buy some time for the unhook to come through. Another generator pops as well, so Invictus's gen progress is not terrible here. It's actually pretty solid, especially considering how early the Lich's pressure really built up.
So we gave a little bit of room on Pedro's unhook there. I think we're in this locker here, fact, I know we're in this locker here. We're not in this locker here. What?
We might be in the other one.
There
We
it
are in the
is!
other
Okay.
one. Nice. Really good
That's
patience
funny.
from Pedro.
I understand why that happened. When we looked in the window, the blood was in front of the first one. Oh my goodness! That was lucky. Like, sorry, that wasn't lucky. That was a bit of a miss aim by Grenout. But like, Pedro full sent it through there, and if that had been properly aimed at the window, he was dead. So that was very fortunate for Pedro, very unfortunate for Grenout. Doubles back, great check spots. Pedro just putting on a clinic on how to play TL walls. Really, really well played there. Trying to last as long as we can in this last chase here. Everybody's injured, but this chase is taking long enough that, yeah, are these gens going to pop her up?
We might see them pop. Yeah, I mean, Pedro's doing a really good job in this chase. He's not letting the same thing happen again. He's winning every single 50 here. That is incredible. And Grenout has to leave. That is fantastic for Invictus. Insanely good comeback for them, actually. I mean, Pedro's chases here were just fantastic. Like, winning every single 50 he can. The check spots were really, really solid. Just played it very, very well there. And quite frankly, like, that might be, that second chase from Pedro might be the best thing to really reverse the pressure in the match here.
Well, it's nice to see from Pedro, too, from such an unfortunate, you know, really well played by Grenout, and that's why it happened, but from such an unfortunate start for Team Invictus, a 34-second down versus by the way, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to not get spits because we want Dan for the fresh hook, and then very well played there with the, again, zoning with the skeletons. We're going to take that down. Now, this is scary for Grenout. If you go for too much, you might lose what you've got. Dan is a fresh hook. We do get the fresh hook on the fresh down on Rocket. This actually might work out in our favor. You see all the survivors coming back to come and pick up the slug Dan. If we can get the hook on, okay, they're going to double heal quickly. If we can get the hook on Rocket and get back here fast enough, but it looks like the heal will come off on Dan, we might still be able to take an extra hook on potentially Spitz, or are we going to commit to Dan? That's a good question.
I wouldn't be surprised, but with the reset coming through, that was very smart for Invictus. Now, one thing to mention, since we did get a response from our stats analyst, Toby, in the background there, the fastest Lich down was actually one singular what a head-on! Okay, the fastest Lich down was one singular second faster than the one we saw today. It was actually by Wispy onto Swatter. So, yeah, I mean, like, that was one singular second off of the fastest down. Yeah, I mean, this is 4 stages, 3 fresh. Really, really good result here. The down does come through, but he still gets the hatch. That is insane. Very well played by Invictus.
Frequently, you'll see it's so much more pressure on the other team coming in. Oh, they can't let them have 5 hooks. And then, but in Winter Circuit this year, I have been shocked so many times. I've seen many, many games that should have been an easy win for one side end up being extremely close or even a loss for them. And it's been phenomenal. We you know, DBD, competitive DBD fans, DBDLeague fans have been very, very fortunate this winter, and there's more to come. Clearly, with this today, we're getting a lot of it. We're gonna get a chase here on Grenout, Pedro versus Grenout, the rematch. We're gonna go chase over here to Shack. I think we make it to Shack window. We do.
We do, and Pedro, like, doubling back in really good positions here, but I think Pedro still makes the vault. Yeah, he does, and can now make the Shack pallet, which he's definitely going to drop. Pedro's actually going to pick it up with Mage Hand, and this down should actually come in fairly shortly. Now, something that's really interesting with Lich is the fact that, like, you can remove Shack pallet from the game. Like any killer really would want to get Shack pallet out of the game, right? But there are certain situations, like if you're in a chase, it's so much faster and more efficient to just pick the pallet up and continue the chase. First down coming in, I would say, like, still decently quick into the match. Not as quick as Grenout was able to achieve. This one coming in at 1 minute and 2 seconds. So a little bit more on average for the Lich first down, and a really good chase from Grenout, by the way. But either way, I mean, it's still not so far off that a gen is popped before that first down, actually.
So, I want to point something out because this could come into play. I don't know if the survivors... Okay, with how long that chase took, the survivors will know that you want a pain res. Good swing through the pallet there on Swatter. Like, you know, sometimes you get a quick down and you don't take a pain res because you want to save it for later. That is not the situation we're in right here. That was a hook and it wasn't a pain res. All 4 scourge hooks are down deep. That is the closest one to the middle of the map, to the left of our screen right there. The other 3 are deep down by main building. I don't know if the survivors will call this out, but if they become aware of that, they can deny scourge hooks. They can deny pain res by dying on shack side as opposed to main building side. I don't know if that's going to come into play. I don't know if it's going to be something they're able to, you know, work out themselves. Is anybody nearby?
I don't think so. Especially because like,
so we'll get the pain res here. But look at these scourge hooks. What I was talking about there.
Yeah, very true, very true. I mean, like, you know, with a pallet save, I don't think it's ever so, like, I don't think it's something you can really call out because the pallet was down to begin with, right? Like, it was already dropped, and like, you don't know if the killer is gonna break the pallet or if they're gonna pick it up and then down you on the pallet. So like, I don't think anyone was even ready to be in position for that save. So that was just, I mean, that was just really well played by Pedro, and it just worked out very well for him. We are gonna follow up onto a wait, he gets the vault? No,
I think he hit the prompt. He hit the prompt as he was coming down, and that's why it went. Very smart.
I see. But if you notice, look how many gens are left, and look how many stages we're about to get. We're about to get a 3rd stage here. 4 stages is the win condition, or the tie condition, I mean. So we're getting very, very close with only so many gens popped. I mean, this is against Umbrella, who their gen progress is some of the best in the league, if not the best, in my opinion. We are going to find this next chase onto Grenout and Swatter, who are both here, by the way. Oh, wow, nice dodge.
That didn't hit? Wow. Sorry, I'm shocked that didn't hit. That looked like textbook. I don't know whether he threaded the needle or if he wasn't down far enough when he released, but that looked like that should have been a hit. We're gonna leave. You're absolutely right, by the way. Like, we don't need to worry too much about the tunnel out because we're like on the verge of the win condition. But Pedro was going back for the tunnel out. I cannot believe that didn't hit Grenout on that drop shot. That was wild.
Wild is, I think, the perfect word to describe that, honestly, because yeah, you're right. I mean, that looked like it should have been a hit there, and we're actually gonna pick up the pallet here and get the down onto Hardwell. And this is gonna be 4 stages, 2 fresh, but it looks like Swatter's actually here. A nice skeleton attempt, but we actually do get the dodge in time. The M1 comes through at the Ormond tile as well. So now if we follow this up, this is actually a better hook to take. Oh, what an attempt, but it just barely misses.
That was very close. Who are we chasing here? Is that Hardwell? No, yeah, I was gonna say that looked like a Nia to me. Durice, yeah. Hardwell was still in chase on the HUD, but yeah, Hardwell headed off towards Shack. I think we want a fresh hook here because if we get a fresh hook, then we tie, and then one more hook is the win, right? So, but it's better than taking the other one there. Gonna hold the pallet there. I wonder how much gen progress they have because this one's like pretty done here. Everybody's injured now.
So do you remember what we talked about earlier on the Slinger set? I believe it was with like the gen progress dropping so that we can protect the final hook. That's what it seems like is possibly sort of happening here. I mean, obviously the gen progress is still there, but at the same time, like we are like throwing body block after body block in to protect the next hook because it could lead to the win condition here very, very, very shortly. We are going to be catching off both Grenout and Swatter here, who are currently in chase. And right now, with Grenout being here, we can actually tunnel this out fairly quickly and still be able to like get a good win condition here. With 3 gens remaining, I mean, there are multiple that are ready to pop, but at the moment, we are in a position where we can definitely still get the tunnel out and go for more stages afterwards. I mean, this is looking like a pretty clear Invictus victory in this set here.
Yeah, and no tie possible now. We're at 4 hooks, 2 fresh. So next hook will be a win. Well, there it is. I was gonna say if somehow they don't get hooked, then it would be a loss. But that is going to be the announcement. So that is going to be Pedro now stealing the Lich pick. So, very interesting. Yeah, I think you're right, by the way. The throw, pull out all the stops. I mean, we didn't take the hook on Swatter, so I shouldn't speak. I should be more clear. As soon as somebody goes on hook, that will be the end of it. But Swatter did not get hooked yet. I don't...
Yeah, very interesting. It looks like Pedro wants to play for a higher win condition. I think he's in a position to do so as well. I mean, it looks like Darius is going to pop this generator in front of main, this top mid generator, but he is going to go down for it if he does. I mean, Pedro is coming to that gen right now with a slug on the ground currently, and we're now currently going after Darius. Hardwell has to stop what he's doing and go for the pickup onto. Oh, good, great double back. That should be a down onto Darius. It is, and we do get the pickup onto Swatter in the background, but this is going to be the hook. Another gen is about to pop here shortly, but right now we're in a very, very good possession for Pedro.
And there should be a pain res back there, I believe. So I think that, and yeah, that will be that there. Now, I was jumping the gun because Swatter was laying on his belly, but that will be the win for Pedro. So very, very well played. Do we think we're going to see a 4K here? I really think it's possible. This is looking like 4K1 territory to me. There's a lot of gen progress, though.
There is a very good amount of gen progress on the map right now, but Pedro is holding it pretty well at the moment. And with the pressure he's built up, I think it's very possible to see a 4K. Now, I mean, I don't think Umbrella is going to give it to him. What?
That was an interesting auto-aim.
Yeah, that was a very interesting auto-aim. With all the pressure that Pedro's built up right now, it's looking likely that we do see high stages, but a 4K, I'm not sure. I don't think Umbrella is going to give it to him so easily. But he's in a position to see that as a possibility at the moment. So I don't think it's out of the question at all, honestly, Andrew. I think it's a really good point you bring that up. And if we're able to kind of slow this game down a little bit for the gen progress, Pedro can definitely 4K this. I mean, like, look at this generator here, top mid. This one was at like 90%, like 3 different times, and now it's like, I don't know, like 50%, 40%. And with pop now on it as well, it dropped even lower. That's honestly very good for Pedro here.
Yeah, it feels like they've had multiple generators like really close and then been regressed a ton. Like this generator right in front of us on our screen here by this hill was being worked on earlier. The one right in front of us now over here by this tile. Swatter isn't able to get the crouch in time.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, gonna go down. Yeah, the timing is really tight though. Like it is very, like, I mean, how long does it, how much actual time does it take to vault a pallet? Not a whole lot of time. And if you shoot it too early, they can crouch before they vault it. And if you shoot it too late, they can, they can crouch it after they land. You have to get it exactly perfect. And Pedro just showed you that was the timing. That was the one.
Yeah, I mean, like, Pedro is not only a really good survivor player, but he's an incredible killer player as well. So, like, it's no surprise that he's, like, gotten the timing down really well for sending skulls through the pallet. We are going to find Hardwell here. Yeah, and, like, honestly, I think you're right, Andrew. I think we are going to see a 4K here. It's very likely. Really good mind game by Pedro, by the way. My goodness. Like, this is just disgusting Lich play here.
That pallet is kind of, that's what we were talking about earlier with the ghoul play. Those back corner pallets on both floors, they're like, oh, we got the lower. I was waiting to see if that hit Darius behind us too. Those back corner pallets are you can waste some time on them, but you're probably not going to live if you get stuck at them. You're probably dead.
Very true. Yeah. And with only one survivor alive up right now, well, actually we do get the pickup actually, so never mind. But like the amount of slugs that Pedro's getting in the 3v1 right now is just phenomenal. Like this is insane pressure for Pedro right now. And we are going to try to cut off. Oh, nice cut off from Pedro. He actually recognized not to vault the window as well. And that's going to be another down. So we've had like 2 survivors slugged at a time very consistently. And that's going to be the death of Swatter as well. I don't think a 5th gen even pops here. I think Pedro's got way too much pressure right now.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. There's a lot of gens with a lot of progress, but we're just in that triage mode where it's someone goes down, you got to pick them up. Someone else goes down, you got to pick them up, and that was only working as long as Swatter was still alive. Swatter being gone now, there is a world that maybe we get, we win some situation here with the pallet and the window that one of these gens pops. But I mean, this is a 4K1 bare minimum, 4K2 probably. Interesting,
what?
like short swing there. I don't know if Pedro misclicked there. It was very strange. Shack pallet goes down. We're gonna get pop on this shack generator. We are committing. I was gonna say, are we gonna go back to the other gen now that we kicked this one? But no, we are gonna commit, and they do get the generator done. We're playing this, and yeah, that was perfect. That is an elevation hit. That's perfect elevation hit, and this is gonna be the hit, and we're probably gonna see a 4K1.
Yeah, I think it's very likely. I think that is Darius the last stack of pain resonance? I think it's possible. It looks like Pedro wants to go for a pain res here, and yeah, that is going to be the last stack of pain resonance. And I think it actually just hit this generator right here, the top left side of the map. The shack gen just took a pop and eruption back to back, so it's unlikely to hit that generator. But Pedro's going to look to see where Hardwell can possibly be. Now, I think actually Hardwell's here. I don't know where, but he's here. That generator at Shack had... Oh, and there we go. Hello, Hardwell. I was gonna say that Shack generator was regressing when Pedro last saw it, and it wasn't long ago that it started regressing as well. So the fact that the regression stopped, definitely Hardwell's in the area. Now we get a nice Lich Mori, one of the best ones in the game.
I love this perk pick. I love it. I never want to see a plague without Thanatophobia. That's just a personal preference, but I love to see it. So we've got Corrupt Intervention, Eruption, Pain Res, and Thanatophobia, which adds an extra element into that whole thing I was just talking about managing your injuries, right? If everybody gets infected because they're all working on generators or they have to unhook infected people, etc., you can't have 4 stacks of Thanatophobia. 1, 2, 3 stacks, no problem. 2, 4, 6% of gen slowdown. If you have all 4, it's 20%, and that makes getting the generators done extremely difficult. So here's some of that stealth play you were talking about here, Rob. I do appreciate it. Let's potentially stealth out Corrupt Intervention. Oh, but Darius is in chase actually.
Oh, yeah, which is why everyone's moving in for gens right now. We are just barely missing that M1 there. And right now, yeah, finding this chase onto Darius. This should be interesting, right? Because we did find a pretty early chase into this match here. And so right now, if we're able to last for a while, we should see some really good gen progress. Now, one thing to mention here too, by the way, is that when it comes to the plague infection, if you didn't know this, and not just you, Andrew, but also people at home, that can be the down, by the way. Really nice pathing by Pedro. If you didn't know this, by the way, if you are infected but not fully infected, you can walk to completely stall the infection progress. Now, if you run or if you're interacting with an object, then it starts climbing. But if you're walking, the infection does not progress at all. So it's just something to keep in mind if you want to remember that for your games and take advantage of that. Now, first down coming in onto Darius. Hook coming in as well. Full infection. 1 minute 22 seconds for that first down, by the way. So a bit above average for Plague, I'd say. It's quicker than normal. So right now, finding this next chase here would be really, really, really good for Pedro.
We are going to find SWAT. It's interesting we went edge map here, but I guess we're not going to commit to this probably. We just want to spit on that generator. Oh, and we take our power. Very interesting. Looking down, we did bring one of the apples, so we will have 2 powers on the map. Swatter and Hard will get back on their generators. Sorry, Swatter gets back on his generator. Hardwell gets the unhook on Darius, which is why we are infected there. And Pedro, maybe not confident that we can find Darius, comes over to Shack to pressure Swatter. This is a very interesting chase to take, given that Shack Pilot is very strong, and if you manage to get a stun on it, if you happen to be around the corner and catch a stun on Shack Pilot, you will remove the Plague's power. Ambitious
really good.
Spit through the window there. Barely hits Swatter, but not yet fully infected, so kind of irrelevant, but this might end up being good. Oh! Goodness! He went down. He got the down. Wow, that was very close.
Okay, that was kind of a really good play for both sides there. Swatter does get the stun, removing Pedro's power, but with Pedro's power, usage, he gets the down through it as well. So that was just, I don't know, that was kind of like a elite ball knowledge versus elite ball knowledge, and they both kind of collide. An unstoppable force meets an immovable object, basically, and it results in the down. So, I mean, but removes the power. So like right now, the Umbrella survivors are in, I'd say like an okay spot. Not terrible, not great. A gen does pop, and Pedro's actually gonna take power again here.
I like this. I like this for one reason. So going back to the everything we were talking about here, Derice and Hardwell cannot come in for a save, particularly after Pedro just drank this power, unless they're incredibly stealthy or Pedro doesn't catch the cross, whatever. In theory, if all survivors need to cross the map to go get the save, the injured ones aren't going for it. Grenout, if they get the injury, here comes Grenout. If they get this injury, they're going to need to cleanse. This is going to be. Oh, it doesn't. We don't get the borrowed time hit on there. We're gonna hit. Okay, so we're gonna hit Grenout, and now the survivors are repairing 20% slower. If they do not cleanse, they will be stuck at a 20% disadvantage until somebody dies. If they do cleanse, we've got more power. So this is that interesting sort of like macro play that you can see from the survivor side, what their choices are. 2 generators pop, we're down to 3. And that comes through, and now we've got 2 downs on the side of the map, Rob!
That is scary for Umbrella. They are going to get the pickup here, but wow, incredible pressure right now from Pedro. Now we are going to get a second hook on the Swatter, so that's going to be a death hook at 2 gens remaining. Not a terrible spot for Umbrella to be in, but not a great one either. Still in a spot where I'd say like it can kind of teeter either way, but Umbrella needs to play extremely careful and extremely efficient here. And that's not going to be easy to do, honestly. Pedro is going to interrupt this generator that Hardwell is working, looks like, and just kind of slow down the gen progress a little bit. Get Eruption up on board as well. And right now, with all 4 survivors injured, Thanatophobia is in full effect. So now the gen progress is going to slow down about, I believe it's 20%. So it's going to be a pretty decent impact on the gen progress here in the remainder of the match.
What you see on your HUD there, Grenout is actually going to cleanse their infection, which is necessary because we need to get this save on Swatter. And if you send a survivor, an injured survivor across the map, you're basically going to throw for your team. So Pedro, knowing what Pedro knows, sees Grenout coming in. We're going to probably get a trade here. I imagine we leave the slug and we continue the chase here. Eruption goes off on the generators. We're going to take the hook. I think there is a pain res to the left of us. Yeah, or
yep, there
sorry,
is.
Behind us. Yeah. So we'll take the pain res. We'll interrupt. Looks like we're going to be interrupting Derice's generator here, and then we can continue to take the chase onto Swatter and maybe continue the tunnel out. If we could also potentially go for fresh hooks and get some more pain reses here, Rob.
Absolutely, but Pedro actually wants to play for power here, get it up again, just to kind of like keep a lot of pressure up in the match, because honestly, Plague with power is quite lethal. So like, I think it's honestly one of the most interesting powers in the game. We're gonna take it up now after we kick the gen first. But now we have our corrupt purge up, and we're gonna be a threat on the map here. Now Pedro suspects someone is in this area, is gonna fire over the tile here. No one in the area to get tagged by it, so I am curious as to where they went off to. It was Hardwell working this generator earlier, but now where they are is up for grabs, honestly. We are going to kind of move around the map and just kind of keep our eyes out, keep our ears out as well, because there should be a lot of coughing all over the map. But it is interesting to me how the survivors are having one survivor at all times that is cleansed and fully healthy, which is just denying full Thanatophobia stacks, which is really interesting to me.
So it's interesting. Swatter, being the Death Hook survivor, was the one who cleansed. Makes sense. That tells Pedro where he is, which is to say down by Shack. Now, there's not really a 3-gen great swing through there on Grenout. There's not really a 3-gen, but if there is one, it would be connected to Shack down here. So having power down in this corner where we've been kind of hanging out is a concerning. It could be dangerous for the survivors. We'll have to wait and see it. Well, we're gonna drink it now. So we take that up. Grenout's on Death Hook. Swatter's on Death Hook. So Hardwell is fresh, and we still have Hardwell and one more pain res as well.
So still definitely a lot of utility in the back pocket of Pedro here. But if you look at this, the survivors of Umbrella have some really good gen progress. Swatter is going to take another infection, so eventually he will be fully infected and therefore injured. Thanatophobia will be full stacks again. But with one gen remaining here shortly after this next one pops soon, could be really, really good for Pedro. If he can slow this game down a little bit. With 5 stages on board right now, 3 fresh, it's honestly anyone's game at this point. It's kind of like middle ground here for the result.
Yeah, the generator split is pretty good, so the survivors are definitely in an okay situation. But yeah, we're right on the verge of, if somebody gets kicked out of this game, it's going to make it a lot harder. Kicked out of this game, I mean, the Swatter or Grenout die. We definitely don't want Hardwell to get found. We still have a little bit of power left here. A lot of that power, unfortunately, went onto that locker. Couldn't quite arc it there. Get that there, and here we go. All right, so we're going to pick up Derice over here. Get Eruption goes off. You see Grenout has quite a bit of progress there. I believe this is going to be our pain res, because I believe the Swatter and Grenout were the ones who got pain res before. So we're going to take this pain res. That is going to be 3 survivors on Death Hook now. And like I said, Hardwell and 4 stacks of Thanatophobia again. So as much as these generators are getting close to getting done, they're going significantly slower.
Very true, very, very true. Yeah, with fourth axe of Thana again, this is definitely going to lead to a lot of pressure again for Pedro. And with the hook stages climbing up here in this late game here, it's looking very possible that we see a lot more stages come through, especially with the gens being slowed down so much.
Looks like they might get the generator done. Grenout is going to cleanse again, so now they're going to have that. The 20% is gone off the Thanatophobia. Derice looks like they may complete that. Hardwell is definitely the target we want to be chasing at this point. Here comes Grenout to try and take hits, because we do not want to let our fresh hook go down. We're going to go ahead and run straight through the pallet there. I'm not sure. Okay. Did we lose track of Hardwell?
I think we did, actually. Hardwell was able to actually sneak away. Yeah, that was really good for Umbrella there. Anyone can really just die for Hardwell now, and it's not going to be that like highly impacted in the result of the match. So right now, yeah, we're sitting at 6 stages, 3 fresh. It's looking very doable for Umbrella to really pull this off. Hardwell is gone. I think he's out.
Yeah, I think so too. And like you said, people can take hits, people can die for him. Wow. Okay, so I just want to go back to that play. Grenout healthy comes in and body blocks for Hardwell. We swing through the pallet. Then we get the reverse pallet stun where like you go through the pallet and get hit from behind. Oh, Hardwell's hanging out for Hatch. That's a very smart play. We hit Swatter. Oh, wait, we might get more. Okay, we might get more here. Swatter goes down. That's good. That's definitely an advantage. And also with Swatter on the ground. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say with Swatter on the ground, Hatch is not spawning anytime soon. But Hardwell takes that opportunity to get to the door. But yeah. Wow. Yeah. Really well played by both sides. I think this is a pretty decent result for both sides. You know, 7 hooks, 3 fresh. Getting Hardwell out was definitely a win for the survivors, though.
Absolutely, yeah. Just getting that last fresh hook survivor out to the gate. Yeah, I think that Pedro is still looking for Hardwell, and has finally conceded that he's not going to be able to get the last fresh hook. So he's just going to take this only remaining survivor and put him on the hook. And now we're going to be going from 6 to 7 stages. Andrew, how do you feel about that?
I hate you. I just want to point out the fact to everybody, with all the 6-7 jokes on this channel, I 100% blame Direwolf. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Versus the survivors of Invictus, that being Kexo, Dan, Spitz, and Nightlight, and of course Pedro's there in spirit. So yeah, so loading into
this is Plague, not Spirit.
Ah, yeah, fair enough. My bad. Yeah, I don't know why I said Spirit. Spirit makes me sick.
All right, so this is potentially we are facing elimination here for Umbrella. Grenout needs to come out swinging that incense holder. We're gonna get a very, very quick infection on Kexo, so the survivors are gonna head out into the map and start working on their generators. It looks like we maybe got a spit on Kexo, and now we're just gonna go back and infect the rest of the generators. By the way, exact same build. Love to see that Thanatophobia. I was wrong, by the way. We're continuing to chase. I love to see the Thanatophobia. We got the eruption and the pain res again. No, I'm sorry. That was Spitz, right?
I believe it was.
Yeah, we are trying to infect.
Yeah, I didn't catch that entirely, but we did get a single infection on the Kexo, and we just left it. We're just trying to build our Thanatophobia up as much as possible, and just get as many infections as possible as well. The more we get in the early game, the better, and we just kind of deny the survivor's playstyle of early game stealthing to wait out Corrupt. So we do see Spitz is actually going to take the infection there. We don't know exactly what gen, but we have a suspicion that it's that hill gen, right? That's where we think we saw him, but it could be this.
Yeah, down
generator
shack
as well.
side. Yeah. Good job by the survivors to stay pretty stealthy. Wow, good call. Exactly right. On the hill. Dan and Nightlight staying healthy, not infecting themselves on these generators. We are going to come over. Grenout, knows what you know. And we're going to see Spitz over here. Kexo fully infected, now working on a generator as well. We've got Eruption down on all but one of the 4 uncorrupted generators. And all right, we're going for it. Facing elimination. Grenout needs a down ASAP. We're going to pick up our corrupt purge and see if we can go find a down on somebody quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to be, with 2 infections on board. It's not terrible for Grenout, but if you look at the power gauge here for Grenout's corrupt purge, we've already lost half of it, and we haven't gotten an injury with it yet. We are going to get the first injury onto Nightlight, who will make it to a resource, though, so it's not over at all. This first chase coming in pretty, actually, I'd say late into the match. And we, almost dodging that entire power usage there. First down coming in, and power is pretty much gone at this point. I mean, there is another one on the map, I believe, but either way, we are getting some really good gen progress here for Invictus for that first down.
So we are rocking double apple this time. So we have an extra, rather than starting with the default 1, plus each apple is 1 more power. So we have, Nightlight is going to have 3 powers versus 2 last, sorry, not Nightlight. Grenout is going to have 3 powers versus 2 we saw last game with Pedro. First hook comes in, first unhook comes in. We're going to pick up more of that power, and we're going to go. Dan needs to stay healthy to offset that Thanatophobia. We know he's in the area, but we can't. We haven't been spotted by our killer. And Spitz is going to finish that first hill generator. It's interesting, Rob. Look at the generators here. That is the only generator deep down by shack. All the other generators are like pretty far. Like this is as far in the corner as it is, and all the other ones are further up the map. I don't know if we can really play around generators, but that's something to keep in mind as we play into this. As we get deeper into this match.
Very true. Oh, what a nice mind game by Grenout, by the way. Really caught Spitz off guard there. Do not think he was expecting that. We are going to go ahead and pick this. This is going to be another second stage into the match here. And, I mean, this is some good pressure for Grenout early into the match here. We did see a generator pop, and I'm not too certain what the rest of the gen progress is looking like right now, but a pain resonance will come through and interrupt whatever gen progress they had other than that hill generator that popped. Right now, we do run out of power, so at the moment, we are just basic M1.
And Dan is still healthy, which means Thanatophobia is not getting its full effect. Right now, the gens are going 6% slower, but Dan is holding 14% in his back pocket right now. As long as Dan stays hidden, stays injured, stays healthy, that will not be a problem. But again, you also have to ask yourself, if let's say Dan works on a generator and it gets corrupted, it gets infected, sorry. And he doesn't want to touch it for the Thanatophobia, that's a lot of wasted gen progress as well, right? So there's sort of like a double-edged sword. One, you're not facing, you're not getting infected, and your team is doing generators faster than they would be, but also you might have to rotate to a different uninfected generator. Great job, Kexo, on that pretty strong pallet. We're trying to continue on here. It looks like we're just happy spreading fresh hooks and getting pain reses off the board here. But this has been a pretty long chase, and the survivors probably have quite a bit of Gen progress for it. Kexo doubles back for, like, looks back for a second, is a little bit slow on the looping that rock, and we're gonna get the down. We're potentially gonna get another pain res here.
Yeah, it's very possible we see another pain resonance here, but Kexo, Grenout, excuse me, wants to definitely drag this towards the mid map here for better placement in the gens he wants to protect here. Now, right now, seeing a third hook coming in at 4 gens remaining, there has to be some significant progress on board, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. You can see Dan hiding somewhere near main building there. You saw the healthy aura there while we were on hook. Yeah, you have to hope that there's a lot of gen progress, because this is not typical for Invictus. You know, we've talked tonight about how both these teams are very, very efficient with their generators. We see the second generator pop there finally. That generator kind of off to the side, not near these. We got kind of 3 really strong gens here near the main building. Dan still unseen by our killer. I'm sure Grenout is wondering where the heck he is, so he can potentially get that 4th injury. I mean, this is the big difference between these two teams. Great down. Manages to get the hit on Spitz there. Oh, and we see more blood here. We more blood and scratch marks. Oh, there we go. And we're trying to get a down here on Nightlight as well. If we can get a double down here while in power, we'll be in trouble. Yeah, we get take the pick. So interesting you mentioned earlier about how half the power was gone. That is because of the add-ons as well, keep in mind, because we were using different add-ons. Last match, we had 20 extra seconds of Corrupt Purge, but less Corrupt Purges on the map. This time we have 3 Corrupt Purges, but they are 20 seconds shorter.
Very true, very true. And yeah, right now, with a 4th stage on the map here, and Nightlight now in chase, it's looking a little bit scary for Invictus. They might be in a position where this could really backfire on them going for this win condition here. Now, Nightlight is going to play this pallet here. He's going to actually have to leave because Grenout breaks it immediately. And right now, Grenout is in a position to win this, actually, I would say.
It's looking good. It's looking good for Team Umbrella. I mean, mid-game was looking really good for Pedro, too, so this is not over by any means, but the difference, I think, right now is we are chasing near a lot of the active generators. I think we are. Some of them pop there, so I'm going to have to wait until we see from the killer's perspective. Looks like Dan is here. And that's it. Dan has been found, and now Dan is injured and infected, so if they want to power through these generators, they're going to need somebody to cleanse. That is going to start the ball rolling here. Grenout getting power from the survivors, not just from the apples. We are gonna Nightlight is gonna go down for Dan. I'm not entirely sure what the plan there for Dan was. Take the hit, sure, but now we've got the fresh hook. And keep in mind, again, last game there were only 3 fresh hooks, so 7 hooks, 4 fresh would be a win for Grenout. Like, Dan coming into play there, I don't know if he got caught in the crossfire or if he was trying to keep Nightlight alive. But however it plays out, generators are now going 20% slower. Dan is injured. We're still a fair distance from the win condition, but man, this is such a pivotal point right now, Rob.
Now, the crazy thing to mention here is that Grenout had a ton of pressure, but Invictus recovered extremely well from that. They popped 2 generators for it, so now we're at 1 gen remaining, and we got the pickup onto Nightlight. So now, with Dan on the ground, that's going to be the 4th and final fresh hook, but we're still not at the win condition yet. We are closing in, but it's getting very close to a win for either side. It can honestly teeter either direction right now.
I think this is going to come down to, I may be wrong, this may come down to Endgame and how much we get in the Endgame. We are 2 hooks away from the win. There is no tying at this point because we have 4 fresh hooks, and here it is. We're going to have Kexo is going to cleanse. That cleanse is a little closer to an active generator than I would like. I mean, maybe we don't want to cross across the map to cleanse, but at the same time, I mean, we're able to pick up, yeah, we're right here. Grenout's able to pick up this Corrupt Purge, and we're really close to both where the survivors are and where the active generators are. Just barely makes it into Shack there, does Spitz. Spitz would have been dead, and if we go down to a 3v1, this could get really, really rough for our survivors. Wow, we're on the edge of a pin here for which way this is going to go, Rob.
Yeah, it's getting really, really close to seeing a win condition met for either side here. Now, we do have some really good gen progress on board here. Spitz does have a gen about 60%, and with Gren out in chase with Dan right now, we are closing in on the win condition here for the killer side as well. And what a double back, but just barely misses. We do get the M1 though, so that's gonna come to a down onto Dan, and oh, the flashlight save attempt gonna come in, but not gonna land. And with Baseman, that could secure the win here if we're able to just camp this out.
Now, yes, but I don't know if we camp this because I don't know where the gates are and whatnot. If Dan dies on hook, it's over. But 3 healthy survivors, they all wow, I don't know, the clock is ticking on Dan's last hook. Kexo being the only healthy survivor manages to stay healthy there. Yeah, I mean, you might be right here. This might be the camp out, and this might be the win, which would mean we're going Crossu. They need to cleanse, and they need to get a door open, and they need to get everybody out before. Like, you can't send Kexo by himself. You send Kexo by himself, Kexo goes down, next hook wins. Crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. All 4 survivors need to get out of the match as they are right now. No more stages can come in, otherwise Invictus will take the loss here, and we go to set 7. But I'm not unhappy about going to set 7, honestly. I'd be pretty happy with going to set 7. I would love to see a Crossu set. I would definitely be really entertaining, honestly. But yeah, this is looking interesting. Kexo's going to take an injury here, and Nightlight makes it into the basement here for a save. Yeah, this is just trade, right? Yeah.
They're gonna try for a flashlight play, but he's aware. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, that's that, and that's gonna be a W. Wow. All right. Well. Okay. 3-3. We're going down to a best of 1. Best of 1 Crossu. Who's the best Crossu wins the match, I guess.
Yeah, very true. It was a really nice attempt from Invictus to try to play for that win there, but yeah, not gonna happen. Yeah, this is gonna be the win for Umbrella. So yeah, we go Crossu set, and I'm happy about that. I would love to see competitive DBD Crossu. That is gonna be pretty fun, especially since like the survivor side of that is literally just to like play for body blocks on infected survivors, right? That's the best way you can really play it, and that's what I'm looking forward to, honestly.
I love it. Like, what a specialist killer we have here. And apparently, you know, like you said, learning the Crossu as well, and immediately going into head form here, trying to track down one of our survivors. We're going to switch back to our human form and try and get an infection. Somehow, I guess Spitz went corner here? Yeah, okay. Went corner here, so not going to get that infection just yet. That one should work, and then we should immediately, yep, we're going to switch back to head form. And now the question is, where is the nearest survivor, or nearest teammate? Are they on generators, or do we have someone here to take hits? Or are we going to wait until maybe an injury first? Oh, the hit doesn't come through there. Wow. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, yeah, and there's Dan. He's here for the hit tank, and Fallen Art is already up to switching back to head form, or to body form to infect. That way, there's just one less player who can actually body block, and that's going to actually result in Fallen Art switching over to Dan to get an injury. Spitz has already taken a mushroom as well, so now after a short amount of time, he should be available for a hit tank. Now, as you can see, Pedro's actually also here for the body block. Really, really good body block as well.
I love
so now going for we're gonna eat a mushroom mid chase too. That is very very good. And we're actually gonna take the chase onto yeah, still onto Dan actually.
We it looks like in the interim there, we switch back to body form, spit on Pedro, and then switch back to head form, and we're gonna get a hit here. But very cheeky play there. You're right, Dan eating that mushroom in chase. Pedro unfortunately doesn't have a mushroom, so Pedro's gonna take a hit there. Nobody's nearby, it looks like, to take a hit tank here, but this is the kind of teamwork play I love. Looks like Spitz is trying to come in, does manage to get there. We're gonna block off the body block there. And yeah, Fallen Art back to humanoid form again. In the process of this, we've injured Dan, we've injured Pedro. But, and the first down finally comes in. Looks like we're going to get 2 generators. Great. Rob, This is why I love, this is the thing I love the most about competitive Dead by Daylight. I'm a killer main, so I love good killer, but man, do I absolutely go crazy when I see amazing teamwork, great body blocks, and just really using that strategy to win the game. Great plays there by the survivors.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was phenomenal by the survivors of Invictus. They played that extremely well. And delaying that first down for 2 minutes into the match, seeing 2 different gens pop, and now we're seeing Fallen Art having to branch out and go for a reinfect on Pedro, so we can go for the tunnel out probably. Actually, no. It looks like we're gonna switch targets over to Dan. And oh, that was an interesting
weird bounce.
Interesting interesting bounce on the spit there. So we are gonna follow up this chase. We should be able to get the infection there, and switching to head form here for a quick injury if we're able to. Oh, we do. What a nice tag. That was very, very well played by Fallen Art.
Great job there. We're trying to play. This is not the safest palette when you're playing against Crossu, but it is, like, if you keep your check spots right, you might be able to pull it off. We're going to try and fly around here. Dan just holding great, just barely getting these vaults off, doing a great job. By the way, we instantly left Pedro and decided to go for the, well, we're going to leave chase here and try and, we're feeling like that chase is taking too long. We instantly left the idea of a tunnel out. I don't know whether that was the plan all along, knowing that Crossu's not necessarily the strongest killer when played like played against strong survivors, or if that was just a matter of the first generator, the first chase took too long, and now we feel like we need to spread around hooks.
Yeah, very true. We're gonna find our next chase onto Kexo, who's also a fresh stage. Nice dodge from the regurgitate there. We're actually gonna catch the double back from Fallen Art there. And now we're kind of, oh, what? That was some really interesting pathing from Fallen Art there. I'm not sure exactly how that was going to play out, but it worked out really well. Nice stun from Kexo as well. Very, very good stun.
Really playing this, sorry, I'm literally like, I'm silent because I'm like enjoying the chase. My bad there. Kexo doing a great job holding check spots there. We take the injury, and then, yeah, we're going to see Dan come back in. But
oh, no.
Oh, but wasn't able to get the body block. Kind of got pinched together. It was kind of like the Three Stooges trying to go through, 3 people trying to go through a tiny little passageway there between the building and the hay bale there, and we're going to get a fresh hook on Kexo. Lots of gen progress around the map, though, right now, Dan. Rob, you're Dan now. Lots of gen progress. Thanks. Yeah, I think you're on that level. Those are 2 different gens we see Pedro and Dan on, by the way, and Spitz here has a lot of progress on this one too. This is looking like an exceptionally good result for the survivors. We're gonna need to see another down, maybe a fresh hook, maybe something happen, because the generators are basically done, and Spitz is working towards the door.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is incredible progress here from Invictus, and I'd be really, really curious to see if Umbrella can kind of hold this same kind of result to to Invictus's killer side. Speaking of which, I don't even know who's going to play killer for Invictus on Crossu. I would probably imagine either Nightlight or Pedro. Maybe Rocket, maybe. It's one of those 3 for sure. But either way you spin it, this is likely going to be like 4 stages too fresh at most, unless Invictus makes a mistake in the process of getting outs here. Now, yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? That's my bad. It's going to be Nightlight, actually, who's going to be playing Crossu. We just got the information from the background. I must have missed it when it was said earlier, but yeah, Nightlight is going to be playing the Crossu.
So I find this interesting. I don't disagree with this necessarily, but I feel I expected them to go for a save. Taking 4 hooks too fresh is definitely reasonable. Like that's not bad. But in my mind, I was thinking they could maybe go for the save. Now the reality is that when you're all bunched up coming for the save, I guess a lot of them could take an infection from the same spit. The smallest mistake by the survivors of Umbrella, and this will be over before it started because there's no room for mistakes here from the survivors. 4 hooks too fresh, 5 hooks wins the game, right? 5 hooks wins the game, and that's crazy. Very strong pre-drop, and also interesting build here. I want to draw attention to. We've got a bit of a shaman build here, if you will, with the totems. We've got Ruin Undying, and as well we've got crowd control. So we're going to be trying to stop window vaults. We get our first infection here on Swatter, and we're going to fly around. This pallet seems pretty safe versus Crossu, given that it's pretty long on this side, but this might end up being a hit right here. Yep, there it is.
And look at that, Grenaut's already here for a hit tank. He's got a mushroom in hand as well. He's ready to go. And oh, interesting cutoff from Nightlight. It almost resulted in getting the down onto Swatter. We're actually going to take the infection onto Nightlight, take the M1 as well. So now it's going to be injury and infection. And since he's got a mushroom in his hand, we can actually commit to this and just force him to like pretty much waste this mushroom.
Yeah, it was interesting. We got the infection, but oh goodness. We got the infection, and then we wound up getting the M1 as well. We're going to get the down on Grenaut. Is this enough? Was that enough gen progress to keep them at the low progress? Like the low... to keep them at the low stages? I mean, that was 1 minute, 17 seconds. That was 50 seconds, 50 seconds faster than that first down last time.
You know, honestly, that's a really good point. I have no idea, honestly, Andrew. This is anyone's game. I mean, like, it's pretty evident that both teams know the counterplay to Crossu pretty well. I mean, they were ready for a body block really, really early on, and that's really nice to see, honestly. So now following this up onto a chase on the Hardwell here, we are actually going to go for Excise instead, who was getting the save onto Grenaut. And so right now, Nightlight's just kind of spreading pressure where he can. That's honestly, I think, the best thing you can do here. Now, I will mention in the last match, we did have a, we did get the unhook after 2 gens have been popped. Right now, we've only popped 1 singular gen. Oh, nice attempt from Nightlight, but not gonna land. Really good pathing here from Grenaut. Getting the reinfection too, denying the mushroom cleanse process.
Excise is, sorry, not Excise. Hardwell is here to try and take a hit. Interesting, we didn't go for that vault. I think we figured we'd get dashed there. Now Hardwell's injured, and this is kind of not the same situation as you were talking about earlier today, but the same situation where it's like everybody's throwing everything at the we're throwing everything we can at stopping the downs, that everybody's injured. There's less gen progress. A second gen does pop. We're gonna get our second fresh hook here. We didn't take a pain res on that first hook, by the way. I don't know whether that was intentional. I think it was intentional because it's pretty close to this hook here. So we're going to get our pain res here. They've broken Undying, but we still have crowd control and ruin up. That is going to be our second hook. Remember, if we get 3 fresh hooks, we only need 4 hooks to win. So we are halfway there.
Yeah, definitely worth mentioning that. Nice attempt on the spit. It's going to miss, though. Excise is going to be caught up here at this pallet. And with with now in head form, it's looking a little dangerous, and now it's gonna be the down. So 3 stages already accrued here if we get this hook anyways. No flashlights here. So yeah, if we get this hook here, that's already like 3/4 of the way towards the tie condition.
Oh no, we can't tie anymore. Now it's next hook wins, because that's 3 freshes now, right? So
that's true. That's true.
It was 4-2. No, like you're right, but I just want to point out the fact that we got 3 different hooks, next down wins. So, yeah, Nightlight is in a phenomenal place right now. I mean, Swatter, you need to have the chase of your life right now. We're doing pretty good. I mean, we're not in head form right now because we hadn't got the infection on Swatter, but... And that's that. And that looks like if we pick this up...
No one's here for a flashlight save, so yep.
That is going to be the win, and Invictus is going to take this... Best of 7 in 7, and Nightlight securing the final set, the Crossu set. Obviously, there's a lot of game left here, so I don't want to take away from that. But Invictus is going to be facing Praxis in the final next week. Congratulations to Invictus. Let's play the rest of this match out, but really, really well played.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, I'd love to see how far into this Umbrella can get, because we do have another generator with good progress here. But what is the other gen progress looking like? Because right now we have 2 survivors hooked, Andrew. That is really good for Nightlight. This could be 4K.
It's looking like it, especially here. I mean, we're at Shack, but with crowd control still up, Shack window's now dead after 1 vault. Pallet is still there, of course, but we'll have to wait and see. Gonna get the infection. We're probably gonna get the pre-drop here. We do pre-drop. We're seeing the unhooks coming across the map. Xi's still on hook, but we did get the first unhook there on Swatter.
Yeah, nice attempt coming through. Yeah, it's just bouncing off all the wrong stuff there. But even then, like, it looks like we have a really good position here for Grenout to not take an infection. That's at least like not an unnecessary infection, right? This is some really, these are some like great dodges here for the spit. We actually bought enough time for the unhook to come through, actually.
Oh my
what?
goodness!
It's denied! Xi is gonna die on hook.
Big
yeah,
Nodders!
I'm pretty happy about it. Wow.
Indeed, indeed, Nightlight.
Yeah, Nightlight's pretty happy about that. So Xi is gonna die on hook. This is looking like possibly 4K2, 4K3. I mean, Swatter should pop this, even if Grenout goes down right now and Nightlight comes straight to this gen. This should still pop. Yeah, and it's going to. So yeah, 4K2 looks like it's going to be the win condition or the result here, which is just ridiculous for Chris Set, right? Especially after seeing the last match of the set here was 4 stages too fresh. Like that is a humongous disparity between the results.
Phenomenal effort by Team Umbrella, just wasn't enough to take out Invictus. So Invictus gets the revenge for the upper bracket elimination. Invictus, going from the second round of the lower bracket, manages to win the lower bracket. Invictus will be facing off against Praxis in the Winter Circuit Final next weekend. It should be a heck of a match. Praxis has been on a tear. Obviously, have not lost in this tournament yet. In the bracket, rather, I should say. I believe that they 3-0'd actually in the Swiss as well, but I don't have that in front of me, so I don't want to say that indefinitely. But Rob, man, what a I didn't think we'd be going to 7, but what a best of 7 it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Invictus takes the win here, but man, Umbrella really did a great job putting Invictus up against the wall and bringing this all the way to the final set of the matchup. That was just extremely well played, and I think it's just really worth mentioning that this was a phenomenal matchup. Well done to both teams. Really, really good. Really incredible. Very tense matchup here. But Invictus takes the win. Congratulations to you, Invictus. But GG's to Umbrella for putting up such an insanely good matchup here against Invictus. That being said, like you mentioned already, Andrew, Invictus will be going up against Praxis next for the finals, and I can't wait to see that.